going to be a tough fight. Verdum's no punk. He doesn't quit and doesn't stop. He's from shoot box, so he's a little bit crazy. His ground is ridiculous. And nobody knows if he has a chin yet. I want to test it.
I visualize this fight to be very fast and very hard. I don't think it's going to go no distance. I think it's going to be in the first round.
I've had way too many fights that I'd choose to mention, and I've never, ever had my ass kicked in my life.
I'm going to finish Bisping early, the first or second round with a vicious KO, and I don't think he's going to know what hit him.
At the end of the fight, I want them to know that they've been in a fight with me and feel it. You know, I want them to visibly look in the mirror and see that they've had their ass kicked.
I'm going to get him on the ground, and I'm going to beat him up. It's the bottom line.
I hope Matt Hughes, the legend, shows up with his A game because I trained really hard for this fight and I'm going to bring mine, so he's better be ready.
Well, I think we both got a lot to win in this fight. You know, I want to beat him and get back on the track to a title shot, and he wants to beat me and make a name for himself.
I want to be the best in the world, you know, and to be the best in the world, I have to beat Matt Hughes.
It is absolutely wonderful to be back in the UK. It's great to be back in London, and we welcome you inside the sold-out O2 Arena. Beautiful London, England. The Bedlam has come to Britain as we get set for UFC 85. Hi again, everybody. I'm Mike Goldberg. Welcome once again to the Ultimate Fighting Championship. In 2002, the most decorated welterweight champion in the world, Matt Hughes, was at the pinnacle of his career. He was considered virtually unbeatable, and he proved it at the Brawl at Royal Albert Hall in 2002 by defeating Carlos Newton in a thrilling fight. Now, just 1 week shy of 6 years later, Hughes returns to the UK for the first time in search of that dominance he once possessed. My partner, as always, Joe Rogan. Joe, catchweight fight. Yes, that's right. It's a catchweight fight in our main event between Thiago Alves and Matt Hughes because Alves was not able to make weight.
Yeah, and this is a very tricky situation. Alves is a huge welterweight, as is Matt Hughes. Alves walks around well over 190 pounds and cuts down to the welterweight limit of 170. He was unable to do that this time. He weighed in at 174 pounds. Why was he unable to? We don't know. Was it he was injured and he couldn't train properly?
Right.
Was he ill? Is he just too big? We don't know, but you know, a tribute to Matt Hughes that he was willing to take this fight at a catch weight. He made the welterweight limit of 170. Thiago Alves didn't. He accepted the fight anyway.
That, again, is what we do know. Matt Hughes is a true future Hall of Famer. No hesitation when asked to take this fight at 174 at the catchweight?
Well, no hesitation also in asking to take this fight on short notice against one of the top welterweight contenders in the world in Thiago Alves, after he's coming off a pivotal moment in his career, losing to GSP, losing by submission, and, you know, having a moment, a very crucial moment where he's trying to figure out what's next. Really quickly afterwards, he takes a fight with a top contender, which shows you what kind of fighter, what kind of man Matt Hughes is. He's a tough dude who loves competition, he doesn't shy away from a challenge, and he's got a big one tonight in Thiago Alves.
He does say Matt Serra is still in his future, but in the present tonight, Matt Hughes takes on Thiago Alves. Matt Hughes, still truly the most dominant champion we've ever seen at 170 pounds.
Absolutely, and you know, Matt Hughes is a rededicated Matt Hughes right now. He's got his hit squad now, his new gym opened up. He's stopped training just twice a day and moved to 3 a days. He is dedicated and refocused, and he's gonna need it against this man. This guy is the quintessential contender at 170. Thiago Alves is a dangerous Muay Thai striker from a fantastic team, an American top team. He is a serious threat to anyone in the welterweight limit.
It will be a catchweight fight at 174, but believe me, Thiago Alves trying to put that behind him and bring forward a great fight tonight because he knows what a win over Matt Hughes could do for his career. Now, speaking of careers, the career best from the UK is Michael the Count Bisping. He's thrilled to be fighting at home tonight.
Thrilled to be fighting at home and thrilled to be fighting at a much better weight class at 185, which I think will be far more competitive. Michael Bisping is just a fantastic brawler. Always exciting, always relentless, and he's taking on a very dangerous Jason Day. Here you see Jason Day battering Alan Belcher with the rubber guard and finally finishing Belcher in a fight where he took virtually no damage. He's a dangerous contender who's very well-rounded, unheralded. A lot of people don't know about him. He's got nothing to lose, everything to gain tonight.
Both of these fighters fought at UFC 84 in Montreal. They both fight tonight, as do other great middleweights in search of a future title shot.
The explosive and talented Nate the Great Marquardt. Nate is a devastating striker, and he has a very solid ground game to go with it. A well-rounded mixed martial artist, and he is taking on a jiu-jitsu phenom. Talis Latis is a multiple-time world champion and one of the best jiu-jitsu fighters in all of MMA.
And in the welterweight division, Marcus Davis faces Mike Swick.
Marcus Davis has devastating power in both of his hands and a very solid ground game. And he's taking on another very solid fighter in Mike Swick. Quick has fast hands, he's got a solid ground game, and this is his second time fighting at welterweight, looking for a big victory.
Our rules of the Octagon are brought to you by Tap Out. American, arrogant, and in your face. As always, 3 judges score the bout. The bout duration 3 5-minute rounds. There are no championship fights on the card tonight. As always, the 10-point must scoring system is in effect, with the round winner gaining 10 points, his opponent 9 or less, based on effective striking, grappling, aggression, and octagon control. Tonight's UFC 85 from beautiful London, England is available in high definition. We begin tonight from the O2 in the heavyweight division. A broken hand delayed his rise to the throne, but tonight, Brandon Vera looks to return in style at the expense of Brazilian Fabricio Verdum. As 2 of the most physically gifted heavyweights in the world, Fabricio Verdum and Brandon Vera can pull off moves you never thought you'd see from the big men of mixed martial arts.
Verdum gets excited real easy. He's gonna mess up somewhere along the lines. I'm gonna be there to capitalize on it.
Com certeza
This fight is going to put me in the right place to be able to fight Minotaur again for the belt.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt Fabricio Verdum may have built his name in mixed martial arts on the ground, but after his stoppage of Gabriel Gonzaga in January, his striking has gained him even more respect from fans and his fellow fighters. Tonight, Verdum will bring all of his tools to the table as he faces Brandon Vera.
I visualize this fight to be very fast and very hard. I don't think it's going to go no distance.
Praised by many as the next big thing in the UFC when he stopped former UFC heavyweight champion Frank Mir in just 69 seconds, Vera's career hit a roadblock after a year-long layoff and an upset loss to Tim Sylvia, a fight in which he suffered a broken hand. But with his injuries healed and the ring rust shaken off, the truth is back.
The truth is back. I need to prove to myself the last time was a fluke. I have to finish the fight and make a statement or win unanimous decision, punishing Verdum the whole time.
That's a serious looking dude right there.
No kidding, Joe. Proud, very proud to represent Porto Alegre, Brazil. Fabricio Verdum, I guess one would say at one point considered Mirko Cro Cop's jiu-jitsu coach, now considered himself one of the best heavyweight mixed martial artists in the world.
Absolutely, and becoming very dangerous with his stand-up as well. Now training with the Shooter Box camp. He is originally a jiu-jitsu fighter, multiple-time world champion, Abu Dhabi world champion, one of the top submission specialists in all of mixed martial arts, and certainly in the heavyweight division. Now developing a solid striking game to go along with that, and that is bad news for everyone else in his path.
Coming off a spectacular TKO victory over Gabriel Gonzaga, the man who ironically knocked out Mirko Cro Cop, the southpaw Verdum, I believe, and I know you agree, has a new attitude, because when you're with Shootbox, you bring a little attitude into the octagon.
Shootbox is famous for being rabidly aggressive. All of their fighters are incredibly aggressive, and we see that in Fabricio Verdum now. You see Huchamar right there is the master behind everything at Shootbox. Fabricio stepping into the octagon with some serious focus, and he's got a big task ahead of him tonight.
Verdum won 4 of his first 5 Pride fights, his only loss to Antonio Minotauro Nogueira. Perhaps ironically, a win tonight could bring him close to a potential rematch with Nogueira somewhere down the road. Little black-eyed peas Filipino, and a very proud Filipino is Brandon Vera. His father Filipino, his mother Italian. As a youngster, if they didn't talk Filipino in the house, father got angry. One thing we know is that Vera is extremely angry after the loss in Cincinnati to Tim Sylvia. He wants to get back into everybody's top list, if you will.
He is a very, very well-rounded fighter. He's an excellent grappler, a Grappler Quest champion. He's trained as a wrestler at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt, and he has been training for years now with Rob Kamen in Muay Thai, and has really developed some fantastic striking. So he's a very well-rounded fighter. The only knock on Brandon Vera at all is that many people feel his frame is more suited to the light heavyweight division. He's not a big heavyweight, but he's a very, very talented one.
Different than his fight against Sylvia, or even Mir or Asuria Silva, Justin Eilers, is that Verdum is not the largest of heavyweight fighters either. Not that he could be a light heavyweight, but it won't be as much of a huge difference, Joe, as it was against Tim Sylvia.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point, Mike. He's not a gigantic heavyweight, but he is a legitimate heavyweight, and Verdum would have a terrible time trying to cut down to 205, whereas I think Brandon Vera can make it fairly easily. He just says he loves his ice cream.
Absolutely, yes, indeed. Our tale of the tape for our first fight of the night is brought to you by the only motorcycles worthy of being in the octagon, Harley-Davidson. The American and the Brazilian are both 30 years old. Vera, 6'3", Verdum, 6'4". There is a weight difference of about 19 pounds at the official weigh-in. 16.3 stone for Vera, 17.6 stone for Verdum. The reach nearly identical. We are set to get UFC 85 Bedlam from London, England officially underway. And with that, the veteran voice of the octagon, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the O2 Arena in London, England for UFC 85, brought to you by Bud Light. And now, it's time to begin our first bout of the evening. 3 rounds of fighting in the UFC heavyweight division. Introducing first, Fighting out of the blue corner, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Vale Tudo fighter holding a professional record of 10 wins with 3 losses and 1 draw. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 247 pounds, 17.6 stone. Fighting out of Porto Alegre, Brazil, Fabricio Bacavalo Verdun. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 8 wins with 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 228 pounds, 16.3 stone. Fighting out of San Diego, California, USA, Brandon the Truth Vera! And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Dan Mergliata.
Dan Mergliata, our referee. A huge heavyweight contender matchup to open our night tonight. Verdum has a serious look in his eyes. Joe, during the whole introductions, both men stared each other down the entire time, and here we go. Yeah. UFC 85.
I don't know what they feed them at Shoot the Box, but Verdum has become noticeably more aggressive since he started training there.
Whatever it is, we'll see if it's effective against Brandon Vera.
Brandon Vera is an excellent wrestler. That's one good point here. Verdum is a great jiu-jitsu man, but Brandon has an advantage in the wrestling, I believe.
We know that his Muay Thai is world class as well. Vera actually was a scholarship wrestler at Old Dominion University. Didn't wrestle there very long, dropped out of school to really approach the mixed martial arts world more prominently. Now, this is one thing we saw a lot with Brandon Vera and Tim Sylvia. But the difference was on the first jab of the night, Vera broke his left hand, Joe, so he couldn't push his opponent off in this position.
Yeah, it was actually a left hook, but that is a huge disadvantage. Try to fight 3 rounds, especially against a striker like Tim Sylvia. Oh, big left hand by Verdum.
Speaking of left hooks. Now Vera.
Verdum's stand-up looks so much different than when I first saw him fight in Pride. He looks so much more like a kickboxer now.
He has that stalking approach, that Muay Thai stalking approach to his stand-up game. Brandon Vera trying to tie up.
There are guys that you see that fight that are Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighters or the wrestlers or whatever. When you see them in the stand-up, they look like they're pretending.
Right.
Now Verdum looks like a striker.
This is a very important fight to him for many reasons.
Oh, nice. Very nice takedown.
One of them is to perhaps get back towards Nogueira.
Now, Verdum has an advantage in this. In this area, he should have an advantage. Again, he is a Abu Dhabi champion, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion. I mean, he's a very solid black belt on the ground. Brandon Vera is no slouch on the ground as well, but I believe Verdum should have an advantage.
6 of his 10 wins have come via submission, Fabricio Verdum. In the full guard of Brandon Vera. Just about midway through round number 1. Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Nice escape by Vera. Pushed away, got right back up, throws a knee, but his leg gets caught. Verdum having a tougher time taking Vera down this time. Tried to show guard and couldn't.
Awesome takedown defense by Brandon Vera.
Vera wants to stand.
Brandon bouncing around on his toes, trying to stay light on his feet. Good left hook by Brandon Vera. Fabricio might be hurt.
Oh, good elbow by Brandon Vera. Both these men know, with Frank Mir and Minotauro Nogueira set to battle for the title down the road, that they could put themselves in the spot to be the next in line. So a huge opportunity for both men tonight.
Yeah, if either one of these guys looks spectacular, they're at the top of the heap.
Head kick. Vera holding on, trying to control. Verdum.
Nice takedown by Verdum.
Right into guard, though. Close guard for Brandon Vera. There's a big shot. See if Vera pushes away and gets back up to his feet again.
Passes to half guard. Very powerful pass right there. He's using the instep to push down the thigh to spread the legs apart so he can pop his left leg out, slide it to the side, and now he's mounted. Bad spot for Brandon Vera.
30 seconds remains in the round. A lot of time to work for Verdum. Verdum trying to finish Brandon Vera here in the first round.
This does not look good
Vera's
for Brandon
in big
Vera.
trouble. Vera trying to protect himself.
That's it.
It is all over. Vera says he's okay. Mergliata says he's not. This fight is over.
Oh, Brandon Vera very upset there. You know what? I got to agree with him. He was taking some shots there, but he wasn't in trouble. Maybe even if he was in trouble, he wasn't in trouble to the point where the fight should be stopped, in my opinion. We got to look at that again. I think that was premature.
Bud Light fight replay. Let's take a look at the finish.
Verdum's on top of him. Now here's the situation. You're mounted by a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion. All you can do here is defend. Brandon Vera's got his hands up. He's trying to defend. He's taking some shots. Dan Mergliata's on top of him. Brandon's got his arms covering his face. I mean, the shots are getting through. He is getting tagged. But he doesn't seem defenseless to me. You know, you can make a case for it, but the problem is, as soon as he stopped the fight, he was fine.
Joe, he reacted immediately.
Yeah, you know what? Referees have to err on the side of caution. They have to protect the fighters first. It's the most important thing is to make sure the fighters are safe, but Brandon Vera was very, very upset with that. He thought it was a premature stoppage. I like to see fights go on more than that.
Fight replay brought to you by Bud Light. Ultimate refreshment, superior drinkability. Verdum is the winner. Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Dan Mergliata has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 40 seconds of round number 1, declaring the winner by TKO, Fabricio Lakaballo Verdum.
A huge win, controversial or not, for Fabricio Verdum. Joe Rogan is inside the octagon.
All right, I'm here with the winner, Fabricio Verdum. Gotta get paid, gotta put the sponsor shirt on. First of all, Fabricio, outstanding performance regardless of the stoppage. It was a great performance. You mounted him, you were raining down punches. Do you believe that the fight was stopped prematurely, or do you think it was over?
Terminou antes ou foi justo?
Eu acho que
He thinks that
foi uma boa luta,
it was a good fight.
mas eu comecei a socar em cima, comecei a socar.
He
E
started
parecia que ele estava dizendo stop,
punch
stop,
him.
stop. Por isso que o juiz parou.
Apparently he was saying stop, stop, stop. That's why the referee stopped it.
He was saying stop. Brandon Vera was saying
Ele
stop.
começou a falar, e o juiz interpretou como
He starts speaking like stop, stop, stop. The referee stopped it then.
So are you saying that the referee was saying stop, or that Brandon Vera, his opponent, Brandon Vera was saying stop?
O Brandon Vera começou a falar, e o juiz parou pensando que ele estava dizendo stop, eu não sei. Ele começou a falar.
Brandon Vera started saying something, and the referee thought he was asking to stop the fight.
The referee thought he was asking to stop. Okay, regardless of the stoppage, it was a fantastic performance. It was a great fight, very dominant position. An excellent performance either way. Please, ladies and gentlemen, a great performance. He can't stop the stoppage. It's not his fault.
Eu queria falar e dar um abraço aí pro pessoal de Curitiba, aí, Chutebox Porto Alegre também, e todas aquelas pessoas, minha família, a Júlia, e mais uma vez dedico a minha filha.
Ladies and gentlemen, Fabricio Verdum.
Huge win for Verdum. As I mentioned, controversial or not, you see the reaction of Brandon Vera. He's going to visit with Joe Rogan inside the octagon.
With Brandon Vera. Brandon, as soon as the fight was stopped, you see the audience's response. As soon as the fight was stopped, you protested. You did not think that the fight should have been stopped.
No, Fabricio did his job. You know, he mounted me, was punching me in the face. I know I was in a bad position. We work bad positions all the time. The ref was talking to me, asking me, are you okay, or something like that. And I said, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. I never at once said, I'm not gonna quit. Are you fucking kidding me? Quit? That's not in me, man. Fuck that.
I thought the fight was stopped prematurely as well. Take a look at it at the big screen and talk us through what's going on.
Let's look at it. Fabricio mounts me. Fabricio, good job, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for the fight, Fabricio. Fabricio mounted me, he's punching me and stuff. I mean, it's bad. There's only 15 seconds left in the round.
You are covering up. You are defending yourself.
It's 15 seconds left in the round. Let me take the ass whooping. Let's go to round 2.
I agree. Unfortunately, the referees have to err on the side of caution.
Eu adoro lutar aqui na Inglaterra. É a 4ª vez que eu luto na Inglaterra e sempre gostei da Inglaterra.
He loves fighting in England. That's the 4th time he fights here, and he always loved it.
Unfortunate stoppage, but a great fight either way. Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Vera and Fabricio Verdum.
Great respect shown to each other as kind of Brandon Vera said, as you see Guy Ritchie, Madonna's husband, in attendance tonight. Nothing he could do. The referee stopped the fight. Verdum is the winner. Maybe they'll fight again sometime. UFC 85 Bedlam is being brought to you by Bud Light, ultimate refreshment, superior drinkability. By the only motorcycles worthy of being in the octagon, Harley Davidson. And by Edge Shave Gel. Get your edge. Later tonight, it is our main event of the evening as the former longtime welterweight champion, Matt Hughes, takes on rising star, Thiago Alves. Earlier tonight, Hughes arriving here at the O2 Arena. For Matt Hughes, it's his first trip to the UK for a fight since back in 2002. And for Thiago Alves, who also arrived a few hours ago, this is the biggest opportunity of his fighting life. That is our main event. Tonight, we are in London, and next month, it's back to Las Vegas with the light heavyweight title on the line.
Undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion Quentin Rampage Jackson tore through UFC champ Chuck Liddell and Pride champ Dan Henderson, while Forrest Griffin beat the man many considered the world's best at 205 in Mauricio Shogun Rua, the last man to beat Jackson. Now, after coaching on The Ultimate Fighter brought out their rivalry, these two UFC superstars, the champion and the original Ultimate Fighter, will battle for the sport's most hotly contested title, the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship. Also, knockout artist Patrick Cote looks to continue his win streak against jiu-jitsu ace Ricardo Almeida, with the winner moving up the ranks towards a middleweight title shot. The Ultimate Fighting Championship presents UFC 86, Jackson vs. Griffin, live Saturday, July 5th from the Mandalay Bay Event Center in Las Vegas, Nevada, only on pay-per-view.
Sold out O2 Arena. Mike Goldberg, Joe Rogan, great to be back in the UK. Moving on to the middleweight division, Nate Marquardt rebounded from his title fight loss to become just the 6th fighter to ever submit Jeremy Horn. Tonight, he has his sights set on rising star Thales Leites. 26-year-old Thales Leites' stellar grappling pedigree was in evidence early on in his MMA career as he built an impressive record against standouts such as Ronald Jun and Jose Landy Johns, earning him a shot in the UFC. He has not slowed down since, rebounding from a loss to Martin Kampmann to impress all fight fans with victories over Pete Sell, Floyd Sword, and Ryan Jensen. Tonight, he puts everything on the line against Nate Marquardt.
The same fight Burr signed him is the same fight Burr signed me. I won the title shot and I'm gonna beat him.
This is a world champion Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he's a very tough fighter. He's big and tall, and but you know, I plan to beat him up.
It's hard to believe that 37-fight veteran Nate Marquardt hasn't even reached his 30th birthday yet. What may be even scarier for opponents is that Marquardt is getting better with age, as his recent submission victory over Jeremy Horn proved. Tonight, Marquardt continues on his road back to a title shot when he faces off against Brazilian Thales Leites.
Now I'm fighting to go out there and just let it all hang out and do my best and to hurt the guys. So I'm a lot more dangerous now.
This is the most important fight in my UFC career. I'm gonna win this fight in a spectacular fashion, using my jiu-jitsu and submitting him, doing a great show to the fans.
Born and raised in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, 12-1 in its mixed martial arts career, Thales Leites' only loss was his debut in the UFC back in November of '06 to Martin Kampmann in a fight where he had knocked Kampmann down. His last two fights, he's won by submission, and to say that he gets better every time he enters the octagon, I think would be an accurate statement.
Absolutely, and the fight with Martin Kampmann was his first fight in the octagon, and as we've seen time and time again, that the pressure of the debut performance in the octagon is overwhelming. I mean, it's really incomparable. There's nothing like it. And to so many fighters, it's the pinnacle of their career, and it's just so hard to perform up to their potential. Now, Thales Leites has settled in, and he's got some really solid victories. Complete domination of Pete Sell, which was very impressive. Submitting Floyd Ford with a beautiful arm triangle. And then, of course, submitting Ryan Jensen, which is another dominating performance. His jiu-jitsu is top-notch. His positioning, his control, everything is outstanding. Nate Marquardt has an advantage in the stand-up, however, and that's where Nate Marquardt's going to want to keep this fight.
Thales Leites is not really a technical striker, but he does hit very hard. He loves the arm triangle. His start was in jiu-jitsu, so as Joe said, that's his base, but he will battle anywhere that Nate Marquardt wants to battle tonight inside the octagon. Thales Leites on a 3-fight win streak. The victories that Joe mentioned. Started his mixed martial arts training a few years ago, about 5-6 years ago. Started jiu-jitsu back at age 17, nearly 10 years ago. In search of his 30th victory in mixed martial arts, shy of his 30th birthday. He's been fighting pro since the age of 19, and you know, when you talk about Nate Marquardt, multiple-time King of Pancrase, came in, has won all but one fight in the UFC. The only loss was the title fight to Anderson Silva. I think sometimes you see him get knocked down by Silva, and some of us forget how truly good this young man is.
Well, Anderson Silva is an alien. You know, he's just so good and so far above most people that you forget exactly how talented Nate Marquardt is. Nate is an incredibly talented guy with amazing potential. And, you know, what you see when you reach a guy like Anderson Silva is the RPMs that Silva operates on are so unusual, and he's at such a high level that you have to experience that to really know that that level even exists. Nate Marquardt has experienced that, and he's gotten far better because of it. My good friend Tate Fletcher trains with Nate in New Mexico with Greg Jackson's camp, and he just says that Nate Marquardt is just on another level right now. His striking, his jiu-jitsu, his conditioning, everything. He's a driven man. He wants to be a great, great champion, and to be a great champion, you've got to experience some lows. He's experienced those lows, and he's bounced back, and he's better because of it.
29-7-2 overall. Nate the Great Marquardt back inside the UFC. Our tale of the tape for this middleweight matchup is brought to you by the only motorcycles worthy of being in the octagon, Harley-Davidson. The 29-year-old American against the 26-year-old Brazilian. Thales Leites will have a sizable reach advantage. Both the fighters here at the O2 Arena in London weighed in at 13.2 stone. Once again with our official introductions, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a jiu-jitsu fighter, holding a professional record of 12 wins with 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 185 pounds, 13.2 stone. Fighting out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Thales Leites. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 29 wins with 7 losses and 2 draws. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 185 pounds, 15.2 stone. Fighting out of Denver, Colorado, USA, Nate the Great Marquardt! And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Herb Dean.
Herb Dean is our referee. Marquardt, one of just 6 men to submit Jeremy Horn. That was his most recent victory inside the octagon. Nate Marquardt set to take on Thales Leites.
Ready. Let's do it.
Black trunks for Nate the Great. The white and black trunks for the Brazilian from Rio de Janeiro, Thales Leites.
Look at Thales' big, wide stance. What that says to me is he wants to shoot. He's got his hands up high, his legs are spread wide apart, and I think he's thinking about shooting.
It's extremely difficult to get the kicks away when you've got that wide of a stance, isn't it?
Very good point. Good, nice Superman punch, though. And he switched it up. Now his stance is much more narrowed down.
Marquardt has fought at the highest levels. In Pancrase, the title fight we mentioned in the UFC. And as you said, extremely confident right now.
Oh, nice combination by Nate Marquardt. Oh! Thales throwing down.
It was a good exchange. Both men delivered. Both men are Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts. Ducking underneath was Marquardt, trying to work the body. Looking to change levels that time was Nate Marquardt. Ultimate Fighter continues, and I'll tell you what, you got to watch the Ultimate Fighter. Shocking developments in the next few weeks. Then the live finale, Evan Tanner, Kendall Grove, the main event. It's live Saturday, June 21st on Spike, June 22nd on Bravo here in the UK.
Oh,
down goes Marquardt.
Nate's in trouble. Nate's in big trouble.
Just rocked Nate Marquardt.
He's
got the mount.
This is real bad.
Got him with the right hand.
He did very good hip escape there, though. He's pushed his hips off, but Thales' mount is just phenomenal. He got right back to the position. At least this is letting Nate clear his head. Nate rolls over, though. He's giving his back. Not good.
Leites continues to hold the full mount position.
Nate is an excellent grappler, but Thales is on another level.
As you mentioned, one of the top in the world with his jiu-jitsu skills.
Nate is doing a good job here, though. He's brought it back to half guard at least. He's got one butterfly in. And Thales is trying to push that leg down and pop it right over.
Trying to pass again,
It's the left leg that's holding him in place, though. And he's got to either go to the side and try to get... Oh, there he goes.
Good job done.
Very nice job by Nate Marquardt. What he's done here
still.
is retain a defensive position at least. He was in the worst possible spot. Mounted and switching from mount to the back.
And it all started with a big right hand of Thales Leites.
Thales is using that head and arm control, though, and putting his weight on him. He popped it out. Now he's got side control. Good try to escape. Nice escape by Nate
And he
Marquardt.
finishes with a knee.
Very nice. And at least he spent a bunch of time now, so he's recovered from that big right hand that he ate.
Watch that right hand again of
Nate needs
Thales Leites.
to keep those hands up.
Stance not quite as wide as it was early.
And now, but then there's the problem is Thales, because he's landed that shot, now he's looking for it again. And he could get a little over anxious.
And if you were Thales, would you fake the right and go for the takedown?
Yeah, who knows? What I would do if I was that guy.
Oh, good body
good
shot.
right hand by Nate.
Goes to the body, then comes up top. And again, Marquardt changing levels frequently here in round one. Trying to work the midsection of Thales Leites.
Well, that's one of the most important parts about being a good fighter is being diverse. And Nate Marquardt is certainly that. Being unpredictable.
Diverse and to have great perseverance, which Marquardt showed after getting rocked.
Good knee
And getting mounted here in round one. Marquardt separates again. Working the body.
And nice movement, good movement by Tallis to get away from that cage.
Marquardt inside leg kick. Marquardt.
Oh, spinning back kick by Tallis. You know, we're seeing it from so many different fighters, Mike. It's the improvement of their games. Oh, good game.
Uppercut on
Tallis is in trouble.
And again he looks for the uppercut.
Tallis is in big trouble here.
20 seconds remains in the round. He beautifully ducked under the right hand of Tallis Latis.
Tallis has got to keep moving. His legs are wobbly.
10 seconds remains in the round. Caught him again.
It looks like he's getting his legs back under him. Nice inside leg kick by Marquardt to end the round. Wow, what a crazy round.
And it started with a great duck under of the right hand.
Now here's the right hand. That's the right hand by Tallis. A fade away right hand. Moving away, lands a beautiful straight right, straight on the chin. Now there's the uppercut that rocked Tallis, and Nate Marquardt moves in for the kill. So, you know, really exciting round, Mike, and an excellent example of why 5-minute rounds are so important. When you can see, you know, a guy get hurt and a guy come back and hurt his opponent.
Calm down.
You know, Nate got rocked with that punch. He got mounted. He almost had his back taken. I mean, it was a really dangerous situation.
Deep breath for me. Yeah, deep breath. Deep breath, okay? After this water, okay? All right. Okay. Good. I got the stool, Greg.
Marquardt, as you mentioned, training with Greg Jackson, which means he trains with Keith Jardine and George St. Pierre, Rashad Evans, many of the greats in the sport today. Both men delivered big shots in round number 1. Here is round number 2. They touch and we go. Body again.
A nice right hand over the top by Nate.
He's leading with that right hand, changing the level and going for the midsection. Now Latis has him in retreat position. He gives him room. Watch for an uppercut.
Now that both these men are very slippery and very covered with sweat, it's going to be much harder to take each other down, much harder to hold each other when you're down.
Latis warned for grabbing the fence.
Much harder to submit each other as well when they're slippery.
Good upper body battle here. Trying to come over the top of the elbow.
Oh, nice combination
again. Started with a great feint. And he gets a takedown.
Nate Marquardt all over Tallis
with a huge knee.
Oh, illegal knee though. Illegal knee to the face.
If the opponent is down, meaning he's down on the mat one way or another with a hand down a knee, that's why it was stopped there.
Let's take a look at this illegal knee.
It's that
Tallis,
one knee. It's the left knee that was still on the mat, Joe.
Tallis is clearly still down. You cannot land a knee to a down fighter.
Huh?
If one knee is down, if one hand is down,
You
unless he
continue
is
to
standing
fight?
with 2 feet down.
Okay. You have time.
He has 5 minutes now to recover.
You have time.
Yeah.
Huh?
As you saw that replay, Latis was
I
on
need
his
the
way
doctor in
up.
here.
What, that?
Stop. Open the door. I need my doctor in here.
Latis was on his way up. Marquardt was just
Dean,
a split second too early
over
with
there.
that strike.
Herb Dean just called for the doctor. Now, I don't know why that is. He might have seen
wants you to see if
something
he's okay to
in
fight.
Tallis's eyes.
Tallis says he's okay.
Yeah? 100%. Okay, hold on. I want to give him time to continue to recover himself, but you deem that he's okay, they're going to be able to fight. Okay.
Herb Dean, best referee in the game right there.
Recover.
Look at this. Let's take a look at it again. Bang, he takes that illegal knee on the button, and he was badly, badly hurt. When he got up, he was wobbling. He was moving around the ring, and Herb Dean, concerned, wanted to make sure that he didn't have a concussion.
And doing it.
And Andre Pedneris, Tallis Latis' coach, is telling him, take your time, take your time, take your time.
Doing it exactly.
He's got 5 minutes.
As the rules say he can, to give him time.
Taking 1 point. I'm taking a point.
Taking a point away. That's huge right there.
You ready? Ready.
Latis says, yeah, I'm ready. All right, here we go. 350. Lots of time remains in this second round.
Oh!
Nate Marquardt clinches.
Incredibly aggressive.
Has his opponent pushed up against the fence. Now looking to rock him again.
He is attacking.
Another warning.
See, now there's a warning for a shot to the back of the head.
Tallis is bleeding all over the place.
Marquardt trying to overwhelm. He has had a point deducted here in this round. And another big shot.
Nate Marquardt is relentless with his ground and pound.
Tallis Leitis checks the cut. Rocked by the illegal knee. Shows that warrior spirit, says let's continue to fight.
Tallis has got to be really careful as he's trying to get up because Nate wants to crack him. As he's getting up, he's got to be very careful to control Nate's posture. He's going to get hit with a big shot.
He's got my glove. Don't grab inside the glove. This is the only warning. Do not grab inside the glove.
Herb Dean's all over it here.
He, in my opinion, he is the best referee in the game, especially now that Big John is retired.
Good shot again, and another working the elbows. As you said, Joe, relentless ground and pound here by Nate Marquardt.
His ground and pound is just incredible. And the pace that he keeps is also incredible.
Got to watch for the up kick. Oh, he does avoid and delivers again.
And Tallis has got to be really careful here. He's not safe with Nate on top of him in his guard.
You need to work. I'm going to stand it up.
Tallis is coughing. It sounds like he's got blood in his throat. There's blood all over him. I'm not sure if it's coming from his mouth or his nose, but it sounded like there was blood in his throat. Hammer fist by Nate Marquardt.
Marquardt smells victory here.
Leitis just throwing those legs up, but it's going to be very hard if he doesn't control Marquardt's body. They're so slippery at this point right now with all the sweat. Unless he's using the rubber guard here and using his leg and holding on to it, that's what he goes to. You see him pulling his leg like that, not the correct rubber guard.
Another elbow. Under a minute though, Joe. He may make it through this round. He looks to Herb Dean and says, I'm fine, I can continue to fight.
He's holding on to Marquardt's head and holding on to his right hand as well.
It's work. Stop. Up.
They stand it up.
His nose is, I think his nose is broken.
Yeah.
Come on, let's fight.
What a battle. What a battler, Tallis Leitis.
I'm so impressed with Nate Marquardt's ground and pound.
And he's looking for it again.
He screwed up though, and he got mounted.
10 seconds though now remains in the round. Leitis has a little bit left. Wow. Tallis Leitis isn't going anywhere.
This is a hell of a fight.
Woo. I'm very concerned about him being able to breathe.
Doctors are going to check Tallis Leitis.
How's his breathing? How's his breathing?
Herb Dean said he's concerned about his breathing.
Thales, deixa eu te falar. Por mais que tu tenha tomado esse atraso, ele tá muito mais cansado que você. Entendeu?
Ask him how his breathing is.
Como é que tá a respiração? Ok. Thales, tem que botar essa porra dessa luta no chão. Dá? Dá? Não, broke.
Here's some of the brutal ground and pound by Nate Marquardt. He is just all over Tallis, and this is where it looks like he broke Tallis's nose. And we heard Tallis choking on something, probably blood. Blood's coming out of his mouth and his nose.
The beautiful Edith.
Really exciting fight.
He's ready to go, as is Marquardt. Third and final round of a great middleweight matchup. That body shot again.
Tallis keeps his hands up. Nate keeps his hands down.
And again to the midsection.
Nice
Followed
knee to
up
the
by
body
a knee.
as well.
Flying knee attempt by Tallis Latis, taken down by Marquardt.
Omoplata, triangle. If he can get that left leg underneath his right knee. Nate steps over, very nice defense. But Tallis has a leg. Stop. Again with that shot to the back of the head.
Come here.
Nate was warned earlier.
That was not legal. It was to the back of the head. I'm giving you a warning. That was to the back of the head.
You know,
at 1 point.
Nate Marquardt is saying it wasn't. Let's look at it on the replay. He's saying it wasn't to the back of the head. Let's look at it. It's the side of the head. I agree with Nate Marquardt.
He did deduct a point because he said, I gave you a warning. So realistically, Joe, even if it's been a dominant performance inside the octagon for Marquardt, he's had 2 points deducted.
I think that was a mistake on Herb Dean's part. I think he should have looked at the instant replay because that was on the side of the head.
But still, that being said, having 2 points deducted, if this fight goes the distance, could put it right into the favor of Tallis Latis.
Yes, that could be a huge factor in a decision. And an unfortunate one.
And really, when you look at the knee earlier in the fight, it was a split second away from being a legal strike. Not illegal, but it was going to be a proper strike because Latis was on his way up.
Yeah, but it was illegal.
It definitely was illegal.
Clearly illegal.
Definitely his knee was down, but he was trying to get up.
It was also something that hurt him very badly, and it's going to affect him for the rest of the fight. That's the thing. It's like when you recover from a shot like that, you don't recover 100%.
Right.
You might recover 75%. You know, you still got put on Queer Street.
He's doing a pretty good job fighting from that venue. Changing stances, he went southpaw, right leg forward for a moment, Tallis Latis. 2:45 remains in the fight.
His nose is starting to bleed again.
What we think might be a broken nose, a knee to the face, and still Latis battles. And you have to wonder if he makes it to the end of this round, could the loss of those points lead to a victory for the Brazilian?
That would be unfortunate if that was the deciding factor in the fight. Now again, he's going for the rubber guard, but he's grabbing the foot. The proper way to do it is an underhook where you grab it with the wrist and you grab the ankle. The foot moves, the ankle doesn't. He's trying a Kimura now, which is probably going to try to use as a sweep.
That relentless and vicious ground and pound has slowed substantially here, at least for a moment. Now it's back.
It's so hard to grab that Kimura when everybody's covered with sweat like this.
Latis looks to his corner.
Watch
Under 2 minutes
the
remains.
back of the head.
Got to watch the back of the head with the elbows.
Now the definition that I've been explaining about the back of the head is think of it as if you had headphones on. If you have headphones on, everything behind those headphones is the back of the head.
Great analogy. Bloodied up again. Latis looks like he's bleeding now between the eyes. I don't know if that's the same shot he took earlier, Joe, with the broken nose.
Yeah,
he did have a cut above.
His eyes bleeding too, Mike.
Yeah. 65 seconds remains in the fight.
Again, that Kimura, he's diving for it. If he can control that wrist, and it doesn't look like he can. But Nate's gonna try to pass now. But Nate better be careful in this pass. Oh, Tallis is exhausted. He just leaned back and took a huge breath.
40 seconds now remains.
And the scramble. Okay, he's got double underhooks now. Tallis, this is an excellent position to try to sweep. If he can suck Nate Marquardt in close to his body and try to get on his side.
Herb Dean says, gotta work. Or he'll stand him up.
He's going to try to scoot out to his side.
20 seconds.
You see how he's using that right leg? He's trying to stand up. Nate is sprawling. Now Talus heard that bell. He knows it's only 10 seconds. Pile driver. Explosion by Nate Marquardt. What a fight.
One of the greatest fights we have seen in the octagon. And it's delivered by the Brazilian and the American.
Outstanding, evenly matched fight, Mike.
Our Bud Light fight replay.
Now this is towards the end of the fight. Marquardt heard the bell, heard the slaps that was saying it's 10 seconds left. Pile driver. When was the last time you saw that? Bob Sapp versus Minotauro. Wow. Just an explosion. Nate Marquardt screaming and throwing Talus Leites on his head, and then throwing a big knee.
What a battle.
What a fantastic fight.
Fight replay brought to you by Bud Light, ultimate refreshment, superior drinkability. Now it will be very interesting as the judges render their decision.
What?
Remember, penalized not once but twice was Nate Marquardt.
Is it good?
Joe said for sure the knee, not so sure the illegal strike to the head. Although, as Herb Dean said, he had warned him earlier in the fight. Nate the Great Marquardt.
Hi, Mom.
Says hello to his wife Tessa. The rest of his family. Talus Leites showed great heart and perseverance. And Andre Pederneiras, the UFC veteran, thinks that there'll be a victory lap in the future for his 26-year-old fighter. I mean, we use the word warriors a lot. We talk about the heart and the guts of these fighters. No one can argue the heart and guts shown there by Talus Leites. Very interesting decision forthcoming. Bruce Buffer has the official scoring.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. Nelson Hamilton scores it 28-27, Leites. Chris Watts scores the contest 28-27, Marquardt. And Cecil People scores the contest 28-27, declaring the winner by split decision, Talus Leites.
Exactly what we said could happen. The 2 points deducted have cost Nate Marquardt the fight. Exactly as we pointed out. Joe Rogan with a very gutsy victor.
Talus
Leites. Escapable now. Here he is. He's going to meet up with Joe.
All right, I'm here with a very happy Talus Leites. First of all, Talus, regardless of the decision, that was a phenomenal fight. Phenomenal fight. You rocked him with the right hand. How badly were you hurt with that illegal knee? The knee that he hit you with when you were down?
That's no problem for me. That's a piece of fight, you know. He didn't even intention to hurt me, you know. We are professional fighters and fight is fight. But I did my best. I did my homework. But this guy is a fucking tough guy, man. He's awesome, but so I think that we did a great job to these fans, you know, for everybody to come here tonight. I think we did a great job, and I'm very happy.
Absolutely, phenomenal fight. Like I said, regardless of the decision, it was a phenomenal fight. Take a look at the big screen and talk us through some of the action here. Tell us what was going through your mind. It was such an evenly matched fight. If they show us something.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay, so in my opinion, he was thinking that I could take him down since the beginning, but I came to surprise him and try fighting on stand, and I did a knockdown in the first round. And so I was trying, but his guy is tough, like I said. But that's it, man. I just did my best.
Was your strategy to come in here and fight more stand-up to surprise him?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, you know. I've been training a long time, you know, 5, 6 years, you know, so for sure, but my fight style is jiu-jitsu, but I can fight in any situation. I can fight and stand, try taking down. That's why I'm here.
Phenomenal fight. Talis Leightis, ladies and gentlemen.
Joe now with Nate Marquardt.
All right, I'm here with Nate Marquardt, and again, Nate, regardless of the decision, it was a phenomenal fight. The crucial point deduction in the third round for the elbow that was, as Herb Dean said, was to the back of the head. Do you feel that was correct, or do you think that was a bad call?
I think it was a bad call. It was to the side of the head, and you know, many guys have done that to me, and I've done it to guys before, never got even warned, so.
I agree as well, and let's take a look at the big screen. You can actually see that elbow, and it does look to be on the side of the head, and that's how we called it in the booth.
Right there. Yeah, there you go. You can see that it's a horizontal angle, so how am I hitting the top of his head unless he turned his head?
Well, you know what? In the heat of the battle, it's very difficult for a referee to call that. Phenomenal fight, though. Other than that, extremely, extremely close matchup.
Yeah, you know, it's a little setback, but I still believe I'm the best, and I'm here for the belt, and I want to get a rematch with Anderson. I know I can beat him, and I want to thank God for giving me the strength.
Fantastic fight. Nate Marquardt, ladies and gentlemen.
Pure class, Nate Marquardt, as Brandon Vera was earlier, and you know what? At the end of the day, it was a spectacular fight, one I'm sure the longtime light heavyweight champion Chuck Liddell enjoyed, as he is here in attendance. Chuck was supposed to be the headliner, ripped the hamstring, trust me. The Iceman will be back very, very soon and ready to once again make a run at his belt. Later tonight, the Brit, Michael the Count Bisping, takes on the Canadian, Jason Doomsday. Here's what's coming up inside the Octagon. The Ultimate Fighter, Team Rampage versus Team Forrest. After starting out with 32 middleweights, we're down to the final 4. With only 2 episodes left before the live finale, viewers are in store for the biggest shock in Ultimate Fighter history. It's The Ultimate Fighter, Saturdays at 11 p.m. on Bravo here in the UK, and Wednesdays at 10 p.m. on Spike TV in the US. Then on Saturday, June 21st, it's the Ultimate Finale with the biggest card in finale history, featuring UFC superstars Diego Sanchez, Spencer Fisher, Josh Berkman, and Drew McFedry. Then the 2 middleweight finalists will square off in the biggest fight of their lives. And in the main event, Evan Tanner takes on Kendall Grove. That's the Ultimate Finale, live Saturday, June 21st at 9 p.m. on Spike TV, and Sunday, June 22nd at 9 p.m. on Bravo. And just 2 weeks later, Saturday, July 5th, it's UFC 86 as Quentin Rampage Jackson defends his light heavyweight championship against Forrest Griffin. Jackson versus Griffin, only on pay-per-view, or check your local listings internationally. Tickets are still available. Then on Saturday, August 9th, the UFC heads to Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota for UFC 87 Seek and Destroy. George Rush St. Pierre faces John Fitch for the welterweight title. And UFC sensation Brock Lesnar returns home to Minneapolis to take on the Texas Crazy Horse, Heath Herring. Plus, Kenny Ken Flo Florian squares off against Roger El Matador Huerta. Tickets are still available at the Target Center box office. That's UFC 87, Saturday, August 9th in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Tickets for all UFC events can be found at Ticketmaster.com and StubHub.com. That's what's coming up inside the Octagon. Coming up now from London, a fight earlier tonight in the light heavyweight division between Luis Banya-Kane and Jason the Punisher Lambert. And with our official introductions, the veteran voice of the Octagon, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC light heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 8 wins with 1 loss and 1 no contest. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 204 pounds, 14.5 stone. Fighting out of Sao Paulo, Brazil, Luis Banya-Kane. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 23 wins with 7 losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 205 pounds, 14.6 stone. Fighting out of Carlsbad, California, USA, Jason the Punisher Lambert. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Herb Dean.
The veteran Herb Dean, our referee. Lambert and Kane. Ariani here tonight, once again at the O2 Arena in London. This should be spectacular. Lambert, Kane, and Herb Dean gets them started. Both in lighter trunks, but the pure white trunks by Kane coming out southpaw, and the gray trunks being sported by Lambert.
Kane enjoys a sizable reach advantage. You can really see that in this fight. Much taller fighter.
Which
Lambert's
means the Punisher,
powerful,
yeah, he's trying to come in and close that gap quickly, Joe.
Yeah, Lambert is a powerful, powerful dude. He's got some real good wrestling, too. So...
And Jason Lambert's one of those guys who hasn't worn a belt, at least in the UFC. He's worn it in other organizations, but he's got 23 mixed martial arts wins, and he's only 30 years old. And he used to fight heavyweight against guys like Tim Sylvia and Cabbage Carrera and Marco Huas. So, I mean, Lambert's been around the block a few times.
Absolutely. He's got a tremendous amount of experience. And, you know, he's been in there with top guys. He was stopped by Rashad Evans and stopped Babalu, which is a huge feather in his cap.
When he got stopped by Evans, Joe, it snapped an 8-fight win streak.
Yeah. He's a very solid fighter. He's got some of the best ground and pound of the entire light heavyweight division, and great submissions as well. If he gets on top of you, you're in a lot of trouble. Great side control, great Kimuras. Lewis Kane has landed some great left hooks in there.
Kane is loading up that left hand, and he caught him. He loaded up the left, and he caught him.
He's in a lot of trouble here.
Lambert looking for a leg.
He's scrambling. He's got to be careful.
Pushing forward. Kane with the big left. He had it loaded up and he was waiting. Lambert is down again. Jason Lambert trying to survive.
He's hanging in there, though.
Lambert is in big trouble, though, Joe.
He's on wobbly legs, Mike. And he's still swinging.
Lambert protecting himself. See if he can regain his composure. Kane again. Elbow. Lambert uppercut.
Lambert is wide open, though, Mike, in these exchanges. His hands are down.
And he gets caught again. And again. And it is all over. Jason Lambert grabs the legs of Herb Dean. Kane had that left loaded, unloaded, and earns his first victory in the UFC.
And that's a big win, Mike, for Louise Kane. As we were saying before, you know, Jason Lambert is a top contender. His victories over Terry Martin.
Well, Joe, take a look at our Bud Light fight replay, brother.
Wow. Jason Lambert just coming in again, just like in the Gouveia fight, wide open. Got clipped with that left hand. Now here's the second knockdown. Clipped again. And you see him in these exchanges. He just swinging wide and wild, and Louis Kane just really taking advantage of these openings. And Lambert showing tremendous heart, kept getting up, kept trying to take Kane down, kept trying to swing with him, just unable to capitalize.
Fight replay brought to you by Bud Light Ultimate Refreshment, superior drinkability. So we truly get to see Luis Banya Kane work tonight. Jason Lambert being attended to by the medical staff here at O2. Trust me, this man is just fine. And he is. Bruce Buffer with our official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 7 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by TKO, Luis Banya Kane.
We heard about his spectacular striking. We saw it firsthand tonight. A fine win indeed for the Brazilian earlier tonight here from the sold-out O2 Arena in London, England. It's UFC 85 Bedlam. And now it's time for a highly anticipated welterweight showdown with title fight implications. as Marcus Davis returns to his fighting home in the UK, hoping to make it a long night for Mike Quick Swick. Welterweight powerhouses Mike Swick and Marcus Davis have proved themselves worthy of being contenders at 170 pounds. Tonight's explosive bout will show which one is good enough to stay on path to a UFC welterweight title shot.
The best Mike Swick better show up tonight, because tonight he's facing the strongest, the fastest, the best Marcus Davis that there's ever been in his whole fighting career, whether it's been MMA or boxing.
Marcus Davis is aggressive. I'm an aggressive fighter myself. And I think the bell's gonna ring and we're gonna walk out and just clash. And that's perfect. There's nothing I want more than that.
Winner of 11 fights in a row dating back to 2006. If his recent wins over Jess Leodon and Paul Taylor are any indication, Marcus Davis's unbroken streak of excellence shows no signs of slowing down. Tonight, the versatile Davis, whose last 3 fights have come on UK soil, will look for the support of the fans in his second fighting home as he takes on Mike Quick Swick.
I'm the one that was adopted by the UK, and Mike's coming to my hometown, and he's coming into unfamiliar territory. This is my place. I'm not losing here. And, I'm going to give the UK fans just what they came to see, and that's fight of the night.
A blazing fast striker whose quick hands have sent 4 UFC opponents down to defeat in the first round, Mike Swick is looking to surpass his middleweight success in the UFC's welterweight division. Opening up on the right track after a win over Josh Berkman in his 170-pound debut, Swick now looks to halt the 2-year winning streak of Marcus Davis.
Marcus Davis stated that he can't get knocked out. And that's a huge disadvantage going into a fight when you really think you can't get knocked out. And I've knocked out a lot of people who said they couldn't get knocked out. And if he really thinks that he's going to walk through my punches, then he's probably going to get knocked out.
An angry look in the eyes of Mike Swick. Born in Houston, Texas, fighting with the American Kickboxing Academy team in San Jose. The interesting thing is, yes, we mentioned that he defeated Josh Berkman, but Mike Swick was not happy with that performance. He even went on to say he doesn't consider that a victory in his mind, which means, as we said with Jason Lambert, he comes into the octagon angry and in pursuit of more respect tonight.
Well, obviously that anger didn't help Jason Lambert this evening, and hopefully for Mike Swick it won't turn out the same way. Mike Swick is a very intelligent guy. He also realizes that that fight with Josh Berkman was his first attempt at 170 pounds, which is, when I say first attempt, it's not an exact science of dropping all that weight, dehydrating yourself, cutting down from 185 pounds. He's competed the majority of his career at 185, and now he finds a home at 170. He says he's much more comfortable. This time, he's much better at the cut. It was much easier for him. You look at him right now, he looks very, very lean. He's very focused. He has an excellent camp, training with John Fidge, training with Josh Koscheck and American Kickboxing Academy and Crazy Bob Cook and all those guys up there. So, he's very well prepared for this fight. And he's got a sizable height and reach advantage coming into this fight. And if he can bring back the Mike Swick of old, the Mike Swick of fast combinations, he can land those combinations on Marcus Davis, perhaps open up some scar tissue. Marcus has a lot of scar tissue around his eyes, and he can make it a long night for Marcus.
One of the many success stories from The Ultimate Fighter 1, Mike Swick looking for another win in the welterweight division. Swick looking to join Forrest Griffin, Kenny Florian, Diego Sanchez, and Josh Koscheck's success since tough.
When I whet my flashing sword, and my hand takes hold on judgment, I will take vengeance upon mine enemies, and I will repay those who hate me. O Lord, raise me to thy right hand and count me among thy saints.
Cue the House of Pain.
The winner of 11 straight fights, including big in the UFC over Forrest Pets, Shoney Carter, Pete Spratt, Jason Ten, Paul Taylor, Jets Leah Dawn. It's the new kid from the States who's loved in the UK, Marcus, the Irish hand grenade Davis.
Marcus Davis has some serious hand skills, and that is an advantage he takes into all this mixed martial arts bouts, and the fact that he was a very competent professional boxer before he got into mixed martial arts. We see the evolution of Marcus Davis, where he's gone from a professional boxer trying to avoid being taken down to a true mixed martial artist, to the point where he's so comfortable with his mixed martial arts skills that he's able to fully utilize his boxing. And that's what we saw in the Jason Tan fight. That's what we saw in the Jets Leah Dawn fight.
Joined in the Harley-Davidson prep point by his longtime trainer, one of the best in the business, Mark DeLagrati and Team Sityo Tung, and Marcus Davis has dedicated tonight's fight to some fallen members of Team Sityo Tung. Crew Eric Armington, who died in a tragic motorcycle accident, Ben Gonzalez. Davis, representing Team Sityo Tung proudly, wants to win for himself, his team, and his fallen friends here tonight in London, England.
Well, this fight also carries a very special significance, because if Marcus Davis can get past Mike Swick and get past him in devastating fashion, he is probably in line for a shot at the title, the winner of John Fitch versus George St. Pierre.
11-fight win streak for Mark DeLagrati trained Marcus Davis. Only 2 of those fights have gone the distance. 8 have ended in the first round, including the last 3 here in the UFC. Our tale of the tape for this spectacular welterweight matchup is brought to you by the only motorcycles worthy of being in the octagon, Harley-Davidson. The native of Maine, 34 years old. He is 6 years older than the 28-year-old Mike Swick, and a huge reach advantage for Mike Quick Swick. With the introductions, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this UFC bout is sponsored by BSN, the world leader in physique, performance, and energy supplements. And now, 3 rounds of fighting in the UFC welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 11 wins with 2 losses. He stands 6 feet tall, 1 inch, and weighs in at 170 pounds, 12.1 stone. Fighting out of San Jose, California, USA, Mike Quick Swick! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 19 wins with 4 losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds, 12.1 stone. Fighting out of Bangor, Maine, USA, the Irish hand grenade, Marcus And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Mario Yamasaki.
This has the potential of being an explosive stand-up war. Mario Yamasaki set to get us started. Mike Swick.
Ready?
Marcus Davis.
Let's go, come on.
Here we go. Both in the white trunks. With the Irish green, Marcus Davis. With the black, Mike Swick. Swick has a huge reach advantage.
Swick is aggressive, but he's also intelligent. He knows that Marcus Davis has got some great hands, and he's going to move in and pick his spots.
Davis will look to close in. Yeah, absolutely. You saw it there, Joe. Inside leg kick, the southpaw Davis. Swick with a head kick, handled neatly. And again, swing and a miss.
It seems like Swick is really concentrating on his kicks. And that might be because of some things that he saw in the Paul Taylor fight where Marcus got caught with a big kick and knocked down.
And amazingly recovered to win the fight.
And win it by armbar.
Now in this clinch war and in a battle of strength, if you will, who would you give the advantage to?
I think Marcus is considerably stronger. He's a really big guy at 170 pounds.
I mean, this is a guy who used to fight at 220.
Yeah, he's not 170 pounds either right now. Nice takedown, very nice. Well, couldn't finish it though. Good job, good recovery by Swick. He's trying for the guillotine, but Swick's got his head out. And he's only in half guard. Very difficult to finish the guillotine in half guard.
Marcus Davis, after one of his victories in the post-fight interview with you, Joe, was quickly to point out, you know what, I'm not just a pro boxer anymore, Joe. I'm a mixed martial artist. You see an example of it again here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and he showed that in the Paul Taylor fight where he caught Paul Taylor with a beautiful armbar. Swick has an excellent ground game himself, though. Swick on top, stepping over, trying to pass. Marcus, good hip escape, trying to retain full guard again.
It's been a long 5 months since that fight at the Pearl against Josh Berkman for Mike Swick. He's making his first trip to the UK.
One concern for Marcus Davis is the scar tissue. He has a considerable amount of scar tissue over his eyes from his professional boxing career, and that can open up. Nice pass by Mike Swick. Very nice.
Swick trying to get to side control.
But you know what? Marcus did a great job of getting that knee in between them, and he's back to full guard.
The fourth fight here in the UK in 12 months for Marcus Davis.
Nice elbow from the bottom by Davis.
Davis obviously working his jiu-jitsu at Team Sit Yo Tung with Keith Florian. There was a time when he was really trying to advance that he spent basically about 6 months not striking at all, Joe, working all wrestling and all jiu-jitsu.
Marcus is in a tough spot right here.
Watch the back of the head.
Swick is on top of him, and Marcus hasn't shown any indication he's able to shake him off. He's trying to use the cage now, which is an excellent idea. Yeah, and you see Swick's push
Nicely done
back.
by Mike Swick. Marcus was asked earlier this week about the Swickatine. He goes, yeah, I know about the Swickatine. We've worked on that.
The Swickatine is what Mike Swick calls a guillotine.
Exactly. Good job done controlling Marcus Davis by Mike Swick.
And he's using the half guard position. Like a lot of guys, and that was one of Randy Couture's favorite positions, he would hold on to the half guard so he could sit on the guy's leg and hold him in place while he did some ground and pound. And Marcus trying to use that cage, but Swick using those legs and pulling him down.
Marcus, great defense there that time. That time he got caught by Mike Swick. 90 seconds.
Look out! He's got to be careful. Swick can't get careless here and think that Marcus Davis has nothing off his back. Marcus Davis still has a dangerous guard. You see him swiveling his hips. He's trying to isolate an arm or do something. But Swick's being diligent here. Nice elbows by Swick.
He's bloodied
trying
up.
to stand up again.
Maybe some of that scar tissue you talked about, Joe. Marcus Davis bloodied up a bit.
Yeah, when he's got so much scar tissue, it's going to open up quick. I mean, we saw it open up with Melvin Gillard. We've seen it open up in quite a few of his fights. Forrest Petz had him opened up really badly before he caught Forrest with a guillotine and finished the fight.
Good start for Mike Swick.
Marcus has done a good job of keeping Swick inside of his guard, though. And he's using those butterflies to try to sweep him over. But Swick recovers, good base.
20 seconds remains in round one.
And Swick trying to step over again.
This is a much better Mike Swick than what we saw last time, and the Swick that we believe can be a factor here in the welterweight division.
A lot of blood coming out of Marcus Davis's face.
Is it the bridge of his nose?
Everything's cool. The cut's perfect. Not in a bad spot. First breathe. First breathe. Take in some air. I don't want you to be belly to belly with him. I want you on your horse the whole time.
Okay.
All right, you've already seen the best of his ground game. He can't pass your guard. He's going to want to be back there. He does not want to be on his feet with you. Use your footwork. Use your movement. Let your punches go.
Now here's Marcus Davis eating these Mike Swick elbows here, and it looks like one of those was probably what cut him. And it's with all that scar tissue, it doesn't take much.
Right.
Just throw the kick, hard kick like I wanted you to. That was
Lean forward.
Chair,
Let's go,
Bob,
let's
get
go.
the chair. Bob, let's
Okay.
go.
Davis, hard kick like I wanted to. Javier Mendez telling him that's what he wanted. That's what they wanted from the beginning of him.
Davis has had 2 no contests due to cuts, 1 loss on a cut. So there is a history of that. In 2007, Davis, 4 bonuses.
You ready? Let's go, come on!
Knockout, submission, fight of the nights. UFC 85 Bedlam here tonight. 86 Rampage versus Griffin. July 5th, Mandalay Bay Event Center, light heavyweight title fight. Plus Patrick Cote, Ricardo Almeida. Pay-per-view in the U.S. Check your local listings internationally.
Marcus caught Mike Swick with a right hand, or left hand rather, and Swick shook his head no, like it didn't hurt him. Oh, nice head kick by Swick.
And again. Swick now with the right hand.
Nice knee by Swick.
And Swick on top. Mike Swick with a different speed here, a different set of aggression.
Yeah, Swick looks much more comfortable here. I think this is a much easier cut for him this time.
Now that was one of the things too as we looked into this fight, Swick and Davis. Everyone agreed that Swick must engage, must be the aggressor, and he's been that thus far.
Well, that's what got him his success early in his career.
Yep.
Is the Alex Schoenhauer fight and the Gideon Ray fight where he just comes out charging, throwing wild bombs.
I mean, he won his first 4 UFC fights, Joe, in a combined 5 minutes and 10 seconds. Out of his first 10 wins, 7 were first-round finishes.
Well, that's one of the reasons why the Berkman fight was so frustrating for him.
Thus the moniker Mike Quick Swick.
But you know what? He knew that he wasn't right in that fight physically, and what's he gonna do? Josh Berkman's an animal. You're gonna just charge at him and get your head knocked off? What are you gonna do?
Now, Berkman didn't take him down much, if at all.
Well, when you're training with John Fish and,
Josh
Koscheck every day, I bet you develop some serious takedown defense. All right, Swick's got nice pass by Mike Swick. Very nice. He's inside control now.
Now, Davis has been able to compose himself and regain guard before.
He's
Swick really trying to get the mount.
Quickly trying to get the mount, which has allowed Davis to get half guard again. He didn't hold that position very well. Swick, got to be careful here. Marcus Davis trying for a Kimura. He can use it to sweep Swick. The way he's got it right now in half guard, it's going to be very difficult to sweep him over.
Swick with a knee.
It's very difficult to finish this from the bottom like that, too. Unless he gets the lockdown on that side, straightens his leg out, pops it out, and pulls it way wide and behind his head, it's going to be real hard.
Marcus Davis, early in his career, worked a ton of jiu-jitsu with his very good friend George Gurgel. Maybe some of that tutelage is working here.
I'm going to stand you guys up.
Credits Gurgel for a lot of his learnings in the jiu-jitsu game, Joe.
Marcus is not letting go of this Kimura attempt, but he's got to be careful because that can turn into an armbar. All right, Swick's on top now.
Davis is up, got to watch the knee. Davis caught him with the left. The Irish hand grenade looking to explode. Swick has been in control of this matchup.
Good right hand combination.
Swick trying to control the head now. Watch for a knee.
Don't grab the fence.
Davis looked for the takedown. Swick warned for grabbing the fence. We've seen some interesting things here tonight in London.
Mike, I'm kind of surprised that he's choosing to engage Swick and clinch with him and grapple with him. I would have thought that he would want to separate and just strike with him. Nice uppercuts inside there. Nice dirty boxing. Ooh, good right hand.
Dirty boxing. Watch the knee, though. And Swick is so much taller, Joe, as you talked about. That knee can be delivered very quickly against Marcus Davis.
Yeah, and that was a nice knee there by Swick. Nice uppercut by Davis and a trip. And Swick's down, but he's got to be careful. Swick has an active guard. He's dangerous off his back.
And very long compared to Marcus Davis.
Throws it over, triangle, triangle. If he can secure that right leg underneath. Good posture by Davis, very nice. And Swick pulls out.
Comes quickly forward and gets taken down.
Beautiful takedown by Swick, right into side control.
15 seconds remains in round 2.
Watch the back of the head.
Very intelligent performance by Mike Swick. Nice knee to the body by Swick.
Headed to the third and final round.
Great round.
Great fight.
Okay, just one thing. I gave you
Here you
guys
go,
warning
Slick.
enough. I'm
Sit.
gonna stop taking points.
Very nice work. No cuts, doctor.
I gave you guys warning enough. Now I'm gonna start taking points. You guys do any mistakes now.
Mike, listen to me. You want this fight, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, then you better go out there and show him who's the more aggressive guy. Listen to me. Stay outside. Don't get in a slugfest.
Hey.
Stay to the damn fight.
Don't be lazy in the clinch.
Hey, Mike, it's all about attitude, buddy. We talked about that already. Attitude. Stay outside with the kids.
You got to get him backing up, and then you got to throw the 3-2. That's the combination that's working. Your legs are busy, that's good, but let your hands go a little more. He's looking to take you down off the kicks. When he's on the fence, let your fucking hands go.
The 3-2, what he means by that is the right hook, straight left combination, I believe. Now here's the combinations from Mike Swick. Head kick after head kick. He threw 2 in a row there, and here's the takedown. Beautiful sweep, threw his whole body into the air so that all the weight comes down on Marcus Davis's back.
Last round, you ready? Interesting point.
Ready? Let's go, come on.
Third and final round made by Swick's corner. Stay with the game plan. Don't get in a slugfest with him.
Yeah, they want him on the outside, using his height and reach advantage and throwing those kicks.
Fight win streak for Marcus Davis.
Oh, nice knee by Swick.
His last loss, April of 2006. Team Sityodtong has been on a good run.
This is a performance that really makes me think that Mike Swick does belong at 170.
Yeah.
He doesn't look drawn. He doesn't look sucked out with, dehydrated. He looks great. He's moving well, and into the third round, he still has a lot of energy, and it's been a very fast-paced fight.
Davis over the top. To the body went Swick.
Nice knee by Swick.
Swick again to the body of Marcus Davis.
And Davis looks like he's headhunting right now. He's got to know at this point he's behind, and he would like to turn it around with one punch. And Swick's aware. He's on his bicycle. He's moving back. Covers up against the cage.
And this again, part of the game plan. Don't get in a slugfest. Davis backs away. Davis has that left hand cocked. Uppercut. The fans love Marcus Davis. He's become a regular here on our shows in the UK. But he's in trouble.
You know, it's so hard to keep a win streak going in this game. There's so many variables you have to account for.
How about 11 straight?
Yeah, it's very impressive, and I'm sure this is only going to make him a better fighter.
If indeed
he winds up losing.
Yeah. Either way it will.
Either way, absolutely.
Under 3 minutes now. What do you want to see?
The crowd is doing waves. I don't think I've ever seen a UFC crowd do the wave before.
I think this is a first. I don't know if that's good or bad.
What I would like to see from Marcus Davis now is to go for broke. I think he's got to.
Swick, as you said, is staying on his horse, though, doing a good job.
I think we're going to see Swick push away and try to land some shots here.
2:20 remains in the fight.
You see the crowd wave? What is nuttiest thing I've ever seen?
Trying to get the clinch and throw some more knees.
Marcus goes to the takedown and he gets it, but Swick pulls out, back to his feet. Excellent takedown defense by Mike Swick.
Swick just returned from a training session in Thailand, and you see the clinch and the knees being utilized quite well tonight.
Marcus is bleeding really bad now.
Under 2 minutes
pouring out of his face. Again, Marcus going for the trip.
Stop! Now, interesting.
Man, he's got a
Mario
horrible cut.
Yamasaki, listen. 1 point deducted.
1 point.
Mario Yamasaki said between rounds, I've warned you guys all night, I'm going to start deducting points.
Ready? Go!
1 point has just been deducted.
For holding the fence.
Deducted from Mike Swick.
That's very unfortunate if that winds up being a big factor in this fight.
We've seen it already tonight.
And Swick being very aggressive now because of that. Marcus's face is a mess right now. Big cut on his cheek, big cut on his nose, and Swick is working it. He knows he's down that point, and he's being real aggressive right now.
He's fighting like his teammate John Fitch. Vicious ground and pound, relentless in his attack tonight, Mike Swick. Even with the point deducted, Swick could very well be on the way to a unanimous decision victory.
Yeah, I can't see, even with the point deducted, how you can give this round to Marcus. But I don't think it's a 2-point round.
That being said,
that would be the only way that Swick could win.
Yeah, exactly. Swick trying to finish off what would be a huge victory.
Now the crowd is singing. England's
well, this we
place.
have seen, yeah. This we have seen a few times.
I don't know how they know what to sing.
30 seconds, buddy. 30 seconds, go, go, go.
10 seconds remains. All Mike Swick.
Mike Swick just windmilling now.
Davis doing everything he can just to survive. Fight is over.
I can't see how Mike Swick could have lost that fight.
No way.
Marcus Davis's face is really bloodied up. That cheekbone cut is nasty. Whoa!
Reminiscent of Marvin Eastman against Vitor Belfort.
Not quite that bad, but it's up there. It's more Josh Neer, Melvin Gillard.
All right, I'll give you that one. Mike Swick did indeed stick with the game plan.
Mike Swick, very happy, looks over at us.
Hey, Mike, good job, baby. Great job, buddy.
Mike. Great job, buddy. Mike, great job, buddy.
Marcus Davis saying great job to Mike Swick. Great show of sportsmanship by these two guys.
These two guys have been very gracious towards each other since this fight was announced.
And good friends beforehand.
Yep.
I'm telling you, you got it, buddy. You got it, I'm telling you.
Mark Delagrati trying to be positive in the corner of Marcus Davis.
Mark Delagrati.
Take a look at our Bud Light fight replay.
Mark Delagrati thinks Marcus has it. I think Mike Swick's got it. Here's a takedown. Here's some brutal ground and pound. Brutal, especially because of all the blood that was coming out of Marcus Davis's face while this was going on. He did lose a point in that round for grabbing the fence. I do not think that that's going to be enough. Great fight, but I think that Mike Swick's going to take the decision.
Let's find out. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this contest 29-27, declaring the winner by unanimous decision, Mike Quick Swick!
Mike Quick Swick. He does deserve this one. And indeed, just the point deducted was the difference between a 30-27 and a 29-27. Marvelous performance by Mike Swick defeating Marcus Davis. Here's Joe.
All right, I'm here with a very elated Mike Swick. Mike, you dropped down from 185 to 170. You had a hard time with it in the Josh Burkman fight. Does this fight, you had a great performance tonight. Does this fight cement your position at 170 now?
I think so. I definitely do, man. I want to say thanks to England for hosting us up here. A great country. I don't really like the subway system. I got my head stuck in the door last night. You can watch the DVD footage on this fight to see the rest of the details, but yeah, I actually got my head stuck in the subway, so this is a much better night. Very happy.
Now, the game plan coming into this fight, what was it to move away and land a lot of kicks?
Yeah, it was to land kicks. I want to strike with him, but I'm not going to conventional box him. He's a very talented boxer. He's very tough. He's got a good chin. I mean, I give him all the credit in the world for boxing, so we had to come up with a good game plan. You know, utilize kicking, knees, take him down and control him down there. But hey, I want to dedicate this fight to my beautiful fiance, Mary. We're getting married in September. This one's for you, baby. I want to thank all my team at home, a.k.a. Dave Camarillo, Bob Cook, Javier Mendez, all the guys, Dwayne Zekin, Oak Grove, all the guys that support me, the military. I love all you guys. Thanks so much.
Well, congratulations on a great performance. Mike Swick, ladies and gentlemen.
I love you, Mom.
Congratulations indeed to Mike Quick Swick. He does deserve this one indeed. Fight replays all night have been brought to you by Bud Light, ultimate refreshment, superior drinkability. And what a night it has been here in London. Coming up next, the Brit, Michael Bisping, takes on Jason Day, here from the O2 Arena in London, England. And next month, we're back in Las Vegas.
Undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion Quentin Rampage Jackson tore through UFC champ Chuck Liddell and Pride champ Dan Henderson, while Forrest Griffin beat the man many consider the world's best at 205 in Mauricio Shogun Rua, the last man to beat Jackson. Now, after coaching on The Ultimate Fighter brought out their rivalry, these two UFC superstars, the champion and the original Ultimate Fighter, will battle for the sport's most hotly contested title, the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship. Also, knockout artist Patrick Cote looks to continue his win streak against jiu-jitsu ace Ricardo Almeida, with the winner moving up the ranks towards a middleweight title shot. The Ultimate Fighting Championship presents UFC 86, Jackson vs. Griffin, live Saturday, July 5th from the Mandalay Bay Event Center in Las Vegas, Nevada, only on pay-per-view.
And later tonight, it's our main event of the evening as the former longtime welterweight champion, Matt Hughes, takes on the Brazilian superstar, Thiago Alves. Take another look at the former longtime champion, Matt Hughes. The last time Matt Hughes fought in London was just about 6 years ago when he dominated former champion Carlos Newton in his first defense of his first reign as UFC welterweight champion. Now he looks to begin a second chapter in his career. And as you look into the locker room of the Brazilian Thiago Alves, he has told us all that he realizes that a win tonight would be the greatest win of his mixed martial arts career. That fight, our main event, is later tonight from here at the O2. And a great main event it will be. Still ahead tonight. This is, I guess to some here in Britain, the main event because their man is about to enter the octagon. Fresh off a spectacular middleweight debut, the Brit, Michael the Count Bisping, faces Canadian Jason Day, who in his debut proved to be quite a threat in the UFC's middleweight division.
I feel I can go in there and give anyone on this planet a good fight. You know, I've had way too many fights that I'd choose to mention, and I've never, ever had my ass kicked in my life. I've never been stopped, I've never been submitted, I've never been knocked out in MMA, in hundreds of kickboxing matches, hundreds of boxing matches, and other matches.
Bisping's landed some shots.
Absolutely.
I think I'm a legitimate test for Bisping. He's a dangerous opponent too. He's going to be hard to finish. Nobody's ever stopped him before, and I plan on being the first.
It is all over! Jason Doomsday wins his UFC debut!
All my fights have been pretty much the same way. I like to go out, put an exciting fight on. I want to beat them, you know, and at the end of the fight, I want them to know that they've been in a fight with me and feel it, you know. I want them to visibly look in the mirror and see that they've had their ass kicked.
When me and him get to the center of the ring and touch gloves, it's going to be like two pit bulls going at it in a cage. I know he won't stop, but I'm not going to stop till he's finished.
People want to see the knockout guys, the aggressive fighters, you know, they want to see exciting fights, and I want to be an exciting fighter. I always have been an exciting fighter, and I put pressure on myself to perform like that, you know.
I'm going to shock him. I'm going to make him panic in the first round, and when he realizes he can't touch me, it's going to be all Jason Day after that.
Nice pressure by Jason Day. Day, so persistent, an uppercut again. Wow, standing ovation.
I feel right now I can go through the majority of the middleweight division, go through them pretty easily, to be honest. So that's what I want to do Saturday night. I want to go out, I want to beat this guy, obviously in front of my home crowd. I want to give him a good fight. I want to get the win.
Very, very nice performance by Michael Bisping.
Beating Bisping, I definitely jump a couple rungs on the ladder, and I can definitely show the rest of the world what I can do.
Jason Day really putting the pressure on, trying to finish him off.
I want to go through Jason Day, beat him. I feel I can go in there and give anyone on this planet a good fight.
Jason Day certainly, Joe, won't receive quite the welcome that he did in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, the Canadian in his UFC debut when he took on the American Alan Belcher. Nonetheless, it's noted that he and Bisping both fought on the last pay-per-view, and they were both quick to step up. When Lieben got hurt, Jason Day got the opportunity to try to continue to put on a show here in the UFC.
Yeah, Jason Day is a very dangerous threat for Michael Bisping. He's got an excellent guard. He showed that in a fight with Alan Belcher. When they went to the ground, he locked him up in the rubber guard and landed some significant blows from his back. Now, that is one of the most dangerous aspects of the rubber guard position, is that it allows the guy on the bottom to hold the man on top of him in place and punch when literally the guy can't do anything about it. It's a real bad spot. Jason Day is very good at that position. And he finished Alan Belcher with punches on his feet. He's very well-rounded. And he also stepped up to the plate in a very short notice, fighting a guy who's real dangerous. And taking on this fight tonight with Michael Bisping in his hometown like this just shows what kind of heart Jason Day has.
Jason Day had asked earlier for a fight against Michael Bisping. He did not believe it would come this quickly. Jason Day has won 5 fights in a row, including the Belcher fight in the UFC. 10 of his last 11 bouts. He has 17 wins overall, and stylistically, Jason Day loves this matchup.
Well, we're going to find out if he's correct about the stylistic matchup. Either way, he's a talented fighter and an excellent test for Michael Bisping in front of his home country.
Loves to use the elbows, has scored wins over UFC veterans Jonathan Goulet and David Loiseau, and now he looks to take out England's own Michael the Count Bisping. Jason Doomsday, right back in the UFC. Stepping into the Harley-Davidson prep point. Being the referee.
If you haven't seen Michael Bisping fight before, he's very energetic. He's got excellent stand-up. He loves to brawl. Great knees, great punches. He's got an excellent ground game, and he is a ferocious competitor.
Excited, he says he's reinvigorated, and he feels spectacular at 185 pounds. He was very good in his middleweight debut against Charles McCarthy. He says he's actually stronger and punches harder. at 185. Our tale of the tape for this middleweight matchup brought to you by the only motorcycles worthy of being in the octagon, Harley-Davidson. Both are 29, 6261, 184 each. Bisping will have a 3.5-inch reach advantage, both weighing in at 13.1 stone. For the official introductions of this huge fight here from the O2 in London, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the co-main event of the evening. Sponsored by Bud Light, Ultimate Refreshment, Superior Drinkability, and Tap Out, American, arrogant, and in your face. Watch Tap Out in their crazy second season, starting this July. And Zenergy, powered by Zions, the great tasting sugar-free premium energy drink. And now, 3 rounds of fighting in the UFC middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 17 wins with 5 losses. Standing 6 feet 1 inch tall, he weighed in at 184 pounds, 13.1 stone. Fighting out of Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada, Jason And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a ballet judo fighter, holding a professional record of 16 wins with 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 184 pounds, 13.1 stone. Fighting out of Manchester, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome England's own Michael the begins. Our referee in charge of this contest is Dan Murgliata.
All right, guys, you both know all the rules. You understand the rules. You want a nice, clean fight. Let's give them what they paid for, guys. Touch gloves, come back out.
Jason Day seems unfazed. Michael Bisping says, I will not lose at home.
Bisping is fired up.
And remember the last time he fought at the O2, it was that controversial fight against Matt Hamill. He wants redemption for that tonight. They quickly approach the center of the octagon. Bisping in the red trunks, Jason Day in the white trunks.
Nice leg kick by Jason.
Just missed with the elbow. Bisping just looks so much different. Faster, as I mentioned, stronger. Much more precise at 85 against Charles McCarthy.
Yeah, that's a huge move, an excellent move for him.
He said for a long time it was ego that prevented him from doing it because he liked fighting the bigger guys and beating them up. And he did for a long time, everybody except Rashad Evans. The Ultimate Fighter 3 winner, Michael the Count Bisping. Got the leg. Couldn't get the sweep. Bisping ducks under. Second fight in 8 weeks for both these men.
Which is a great thing because it means they're going to be more comfortable. They've just experienced the stress of fighting really recently. They'll be more relaxed. And they're also in excellent shape.
Bisping's fight ended at the end of the first round when he broke McCarthy's forearm. And
Bisping's got double underhooks here.
Lasted about 4 minutes.
Drives him to the ground. Jason Day, again, has an excellent ground game. Very good off of his back. Good posture by Bisping.
Bisping tries to throw him aside and rain down punishment.
Landed a couple good shots there, and another one.
He might have Jason Day in trouble here.
He's landed some very good punches.
Yep. Day wants a leg, wants to get up. Bisping says not yet. Big ground and pound attack by Michael Bisping, who said tonight, I will certainly be the aggressor.
He's passed into side control. Real bad for Jason Day.
2:35 remains in the first of 3 5-minute rounds.
This is a great spot for Michael Bisping right here. Day is trying to recover. He's trying to get his leg in between him and Michael. And he rolls out, stands back up to his feet, but eats a couple shots for it.
And a knee. Jason Day's going to push forward, though. Big takedown by Bisping.
And back to side control.
And right into a dominant position.
He tries to spin to the mount, but winds up in half guard.
Still, he's been able to posture up.
Full mount.
And now he is trying to finish this fight with 150 remaining.
He let go of the back. He decided to pound him. He's dragging him down. Jason's in trouble.
Overwhelmed thus far, the Canadian Jason Day.
He's doing a good job of covering up, but he's definitely getting bombed on.
Dan Mergliata, our referee, right on top of the action. Relentless once again, Bisping. Day's going to try to get back up. Bisping says not yet.
Dan is very close to stopping his fight.
Michael the Count Bisping. Hammering away.
Performance by Michael Bisping.
It is all over. Michael Bisping wins here in London.
That was the most impressive performance of Michael Bisping's UFC career. Wow. Overwhelming aggression, dominance on the ground. Man, Jason Day just never had a chance to get started. Huge performance from Michael Bisping.
Our Bud Light fight replay.
Michael Bisping just all over Jason Day here. You see, he throws the leg to the side, lands some big punches. This is early on in the fight when he first started to get him hurt, and this is the end. He's in side control and just dropping bombs, hammer fists, elbows, everything. Dan Mergliata has seen enough. Michael Bisping just overwhelms Jason Day.
Fight replay brought to you by Bud Light, Ultimate Refreshment, superior drinkability. Superior indeed tonight. Michael Bisping was originally to fight Chris Lieben. Jason Day, a very game opponent, stepped up. Also coming off his victory in Montreal. But you know what? Tonight was all about the count. Winning at home and doing it impressively this time, which indeed he has done. Bruce Buffer with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Dan Mergliata has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 42 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by TKO, Michael the Count Bisping.
Michael Bisping with Joe Rogan.
All right, I'm here with a very happy Michael Bisping. Michael, at all your fights in the UFC, that has got to be the most impressive performance to date.
Well, thank you so much, honestly. The support I get from you guys, honestly, I could cry. I do not take it for granted, yeah? Every single one of you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Regarding my performance, I always said I'd never fought to the best of my ability in the UFC. I think in my last fight I started to do that, and then again I did. What can I say? Yeah, I'm happy with the performance. And thanks to Jason as well for being a very respectable competitor. No trash talking, he kept it classy. And by the way, I hear Guy Ritchie's here tonight, so if you want a guy from the Northwest in your next gangster movie, I'm your man, wherever you are.
Well, Michael, you've got to be happy with this performance. Take a look at the replay. Jason Day's a very tough guy, and you just completely overwhelmed him. He was never in this fight.
Well, the thing is, I don't know, that's the way I like to fight. I'm aggressive. That's how I used to do it. My first couple of fights in the UFC, I didn't do it. I don't know if I was overwhelmed because I've trained so hard to get here, but now I'm doing what I do best. People think I've got no ground game, think I've got no wrestling, they think I'm crap on the feet. Just have some faith. Come on, please.
Well, I think you just served a big notice to everybody else in the 185-pound division.
Yeah. Just want to say thanks to all my coaches here, Kazeka, Tony Quigley, Dave Jackson, all my family and everyone. Once again, thank you so much. Oh, and my website, bisping.tv.
Fantastic performance. Michael Bisping, ladies and gentlemen.
Guy Ritchie loves what he has seen tonight, and especially the victory for Britain's own Michael the Count Bisping. He had the calling tonight, and he reigns supreme here inside the sold-out O2 Arena. Take a final look inside the locker room of the former welterweight champion Matt Hughes, who says he is truly prepared to win again here tonight in the UK. And as you look inside the locker room of Thiago Alves, everyone in his camp realizes that the win could very well propel him to a title shot in the welterweight division. Take a look at tonight's BSN finish first turning point of the match. It came earlier tonight. Eddie Sanchez was in control early, but the turning point was Anthony Hardon's perseverance and that big left hook as he wins tonight's turning point of the match. Brought to you by BSN, the world leader in physique, performance, and energy supplements. And don't forget, you can watch all the unaired preliminary bouts shortly after tonight's event at UFC.com and UK.UFC.com. Also, the post-fight interviews. A big win indeed for Michael the Count Bisping. And now we move ahead to our main event of the evening. It is indeed Thiago the Pitbull Alves against the greatest champion in UFC welterweight history, Matt Hughes. And this is, as we said at the top of the show, a catchweight fight, pardon me. Thiago Alves did not make weight. They agreed, did Matt Hughes in his camp, that he would go ahead and fight anyway. 174 pounds is what Alves weighed in at.
Yeah, as we said earlier, Thiago Alves was unable to make weight. We don't know why. We don't know whether it was due to injury or illness or whatever, or that's the fact that he's a huge guy. This dehydration is struggling to make a lighter weight class. Unfortunately, in the UFC, there's a big gap in between weight classes, a huge gap between 170 and 185. And a lot of these guys, they lose a tremendous amount of weight. Thiago walks around much higher than the middleweight division of 185 pounds, cuts down to 170, could not make it this time. A true testament to Matt Hughes, his competitive spirit, his drive. He decided to take the fight anyway, even though he had made the required weight of 170.
And he did indeed, and he pushed himself as always to do so. A lifelong wrestler. He's a genius, along with his training partner Mark Fiore, at making the weight. Still, he did agree there will be a fine levied against Thiago Alves, but both men said, still, let's bring on the main event of the evening, and this could still be a huge main event here in London.
Absolutely. Well, stylistically, it's an excellent matchup. It's a traditional matchup of striker versus grappler. Matt Hughes has always been known for his great takedowns, ground and pound, his ability to slam opponents and to control them on the ground and submit them. I mean, if you look at a lot of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts in the UFC, a lot of them don't have nearly the amount of submissions that Matt Hughes has. He's submitted so many different guys. He submitted George St. Pierre with a far side armbar, beautiful armbar. He submitted Frank Trigg twice with rear naked chokes, Joe Riggs. He's got a lot of submissions in the UFC. Thiago Alves, on the other hand, is a vicious striker. His last victory over Karo Parisian, the first guy to ever knock out Karo. He's got brutal Muay Thai, some of the best leg kicks in the division. He trains at American Top Team, a place that I believe is the best camp in the world, and he's, supremely confident in his ability to make his mark on the legend and take Matt Hughes out.
Joe, I noticed something very interesting when we looked into the locker room of Matt Hughes. He was hitting the focus mitts from a southpaw position.
Absolutely, and the reason why is he's concentrating on his takedowns. Matt Hughes is a right-handed fighter. As a boxer, as a kickboxer, traditionally he would stand left hand forward, but as a wrestler, he would stand right leg forward so he can get a better spring. I think he's very much concentrating on that. That's also the stance that he came out with against George St. Pierre in their second fight.
Let's see if it works better tonight for the longtime welterweight champion, Matt Hughes. Will he rise again tonight, or will there be a changing in the guard here in the UK?
I'm gonna beat the out of everybody. I don't care.
That takedown. Good right hand. Down goes to Souza.
real plan. And after this fight, I want the belt.
He did great his last fight against Caro, and he's that younger fighter that's on the rise and trying to make a name for himself.
He was the champion already. It's my time. I want it. Losing is not an option.
I'm the 9-time world champion here. If they think I'm a dead man walking, I like that. I like that. It tells me that they're a little overconfident.
He did great things for the UFC, for the sport. You know, he was the most dominant, welterweight out there. He's a really good wrestler, strong guy, and he's gonna try to take me down and ground and pound me. That's his game.
I think if I get Thiago down, he'll stay down. It's going to get rough for Thiago. He's not a fast starter. He's young. He's not as experienced. I can put him in some bad spots where he might not know what to do. Of course, every time you walk in the octagon, it's going to be tough on a young guy.
When I go to the octagon, everything shuts down. I just see the guy in front of me and I gotta run through him.
He got rocked by Thiago Alves.
I'm hoping to take him down and wear him out before he even gets started. He's very physical, he's an athlete. I don't know how much endurance he has. I think I'll be stronger than he is.
I'm younger, I'm stronger, I'm faster.
I train hard, I've just always worked hard. So when it comes to the third round, I'm getting warmed up.
Training for me, it's my fun time. It's my job, but I love training. When I train, I push myself to the limit all the time. I know what I gotta do, and I'm doing it.
I don't worry about how many wins in a row I've got. I just fight because I like to fight, and that's what I do. That's what I'm good at.
I'm gonna knock him out, I'm gonna make a statement.
This is a very confident 24-year-old pit bull with 20 wins already in his mixed martial arts career. 174, we've talked about it. He obviously has put that behind him and understands that he's in the main event against a legend, and this could propel him towards equal status somewhere down the road.
Absolutely, this is an awesome opportunity for him as a young fighter to catch Matt Hughes after Matt Hughes lost the title, recently been dominated by George St. Pierre in his last fight, and him coming off of that brutal knockout of Carl Friesian. He's flying high with confidence, he's got a lot of momentum behind him, and stylistically, he believes he is a great matchup for Matt Hughes. The only time he's faced wrestlers, he lost by TKO to John Fitch, and he beat down John Alessio with brutal leg kicks. Those are the two we can compare to. If it goes the John Fitch way, he's in deep trouble. If Matt Hughes is able to control him on the ground like Fitch was and beat him down, Thiago's in trouble. But if he can avoid the takedown and land the kind of leg kicks he landed on Alessio, it could be a long night for Matt Hughes.
Thiago Alves exits the Harley-Davidson prep point, enters the world-famous octagon. He is just the second fighter to stop Chris Lights Out Lytle. That stoppage came at the end of the second round. Matt Hughes' last victory was against Chris Lytle, but that fight went the distance.
Well, unfortunately, the Chris Lytle fight was stopped due to a cut, and it was a great fight before it was stopped. A very competitive fight. By the way, Thiago looks huge. That's as big as we've ever seen him.
Unbeaten in his last five. He's won his last four by knockout or TKO. Now he fights a legend.
The preacher man says it's the end of time, and the Mississippi River, she's a golden dry. Is up and the stock market's down, and you only get mugged if you go downtown. I live back in the woods,
spectacular victory at UFC 37 at Royal Albert Hall in July of 2002 when he defeated Carlos Newton. Matt Hughes is back to fight in the UK.
It's pretty wild watching Chuck Liddell sing along to A Country Boy Can't Survive as Matt Hughes makes it into the octagon. This is a pivotal moment in Matt Hughes' career. You know, the most dominant welterweight ever in the history of the sport, but can't seem to get past this one guy, GSP. He has recently opened up his own training center and has really ramped up his training. Moved from 2-a-days to 3-a-days. Came into this fight in excellent condition, very motivated, wants to stop this young lion in Thiago Alves, and wants to regain and put himself back on the comeback trail, regain that momentum that he had.
Now representing his own hit squad, Hughes Intensive Training with Mark Fiore, a longtime friend, college wrestling teammate, Matt Pena, ruthless Robbie Lawler. Matt Hughes, as you said, will he return to past glory? Will he return to the fighter we saw have a 5-year reign as the welterweight champion? Or is this the night in which Thiago Alves shows us one more time that even as Mark Hughes has said in the past, maybe Matt's best days could be behind him?
Well, we're going to find out very shortly, but one thing I'm telling you, looking at Matt's body and looking at Thiago's body, Matt, when he fought Royce Gracie, that was a catchweight fight at 175, and Matt looked much larger then. It was much more comfortable for him. He doesn't look as big now, but you know what? He's training so hard that could just be because he's in such awesome cardio shape. But physically, right now, Thiago looks like he's about 10 pounds heavier.
From 1998 to 2000, Matt Hughes won an astounding 18 straight fights. He's only gone the distance once in close to 4 years. And as I mentioned earlier, this is 1 week shy of 6 years since the brawl at Royal Albert Hall and that spectacular finish in his second title defense, the victory over Carlos Newton. Our tale of the tape for this, the main event of the evening, is brought to you by the only motorcycles worthy of being in the octagon, Harley Davidson. A decade older, is the longtime former welterweight champion. 3-inch reach advantage for Hughes. You see the official weight, 174 that we've talked about quite often. A catch-weight bout in our main event here tonight from London, England. And with the official introductions, the veteran voice of the octagon, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. 2 UFC warriors have now entered the world's ultimate proving ground for fighters, where they will do battle against each other tonight in the octagon. Our 3 judges scoring this contest are Nelson Hamilton, Jeff Mullen, and Cecil Peoples. Our lead physician at octagon side is Dr. Chris Lang. And when the action begins, our referee in charge is Herb Dean. This championship bout is sponsored by Bud Light, Ultimate Refreshment Superior Drinkability, Edge Shave Gel, Get Your Edge, and the only motorcycles worthy of being in the octagon, Harley Davidson. And now, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Live from the sold-out O2 Arena in London, England. It's time! This fight is 3 rounds at a catch weight of 175 pounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter holding a professional record of 20 wins with 4 losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 174 pounds, 12.4 stone. Fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida, USA, Thiago Pitbull And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a wrestler and mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 43 wins with 6 losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds, 12.1 stone. Fighting out of Hillsborough, Illinois, USA. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the former UFC welterweight champion of the world, Matt
All right, gentlemen, main event. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. We will have a clean fight. Touch gloves, let's make it official.
Now, Thiago Alves will tell you he's not overwhelmed by this moment. We'll soon find out if that is the truth. Alves has his right ankle taped. Matt Hughes, the longtime champion, looking for another win here in London.
Ready? Let's do it.
Here we go, our main event of the evening. Southpaw Hughes. Vicious leg kicks possessed by Thiago Alves. He's in the white trunks.
Mike, hearing Ricardo Laborio, Thiago's trainer, talk about this fight, what they believe is that Matt Hughes doesn't pose a danger in any specific area, meaning that he may be able to take Thiago down, but if he does take Thiago down, he's not going to hurt him. Thiago has excellent defense on the ground, they believe, and he believes that standing up, Thiago has a significant advantage.
Well, Matt has said quite frequently that his game plan is no secret. He wants to take Thiago Alves down. His first shot there was unsuccessful.
Thiago has obviously been training very hard, avoiding the takedown, sprawling, getting back to his feet, and then once he gets taken down, here, look at that, stuffs it immediately.
Now this is where
Matt's relentless, drives him to the octagon cage.
Turned himself into a Hall of Famer, being relentless, as you said, on his takedown attempts. He pulls guard.
Matt pulls guard, interesting.
Hughes has submitted some of the best in the world.
Yeah, he has excellent jiu-jitsu. Black belt level jiu-jitsu. I mean, he doesn't have a belt, but, you know, you'd have to give him a black belt.
If he did, he wouldn't wear it. He's that kind of guy.
Big punches by Thiago.
And Thiago wants to stand up. Alves so confident on such a big run. 5-fight win streak. 4 by KO or TKO. Won 7 of the last 8. Hughes takes a knee. Hughes is bloodied up already here in round 1.
He's got side control though. Okay, now it's half guard.
This is what Matt Hughes wants to do. He wants to control Alves early, take him into the deep waters, if you will, weather the early storm.
Now, again, Ricardo Laborio was pretty confident that Thiago could hold Matt Hughes in this position if he got taken down and not take any damage.
Well, Matt said, as we got set up for this fight, that if he takes him down, he thinks he'll keep him down. Hughes has awesome ground and pound, great elbows. All it takes is a little bit of room and boom, he'll throw that elbow.
Already pulled it into full guard, and he's got an overhook on the right-hand side where he's going to try to sweep at that left butterfly, or he's going to try to get underhooks and try to stand up.
Alves at American Top Team trains with 18 different black belts.
Good job by Matt Hughes. He's using that tape as well to hold on to Thiago's ankle and keep him down. That tape will eventually become a disadvantage if that happens again.
14 of the 43 wins for Hughes have come by submission.
You know, as guys get slippery, it's really difficult to hold on to the legs, but that ankle tape is going to make some nice traction for Hughes. Thiago holding him in place.
"49 fights in the career of Matt Hughes. This is his 50th mixed martial arts contest of his Hall of Fame career.
Stay off the back of the head, Thiago. Let's work, Matt. I'll stand this up. You need to work.
Matt, 34 years old. Alves, 24 years old. Hughes trying to control Thiago Alves. He hasn't damaged him at all yet here.
No, Thiago actually did more damage to Hughes when he had him on the ground in a short period of time than Hughes has in this pretty long period of time.
Thiago Alves controlling the left leg of Matt Hughes. Hughes trying to get into a more dominant position.
Butterfly guard.
Yep.
And again, he's got one overhook on the left-hand side, which is the area where he's going to try to sweep him to. And Matt tries to pass over, gets the half guard.
Let's stand this up. You need to work.
Any second now, they're going to stand this up. Matt looks like he's going to pass here.
Trying to work slowly in jiu-jitsu.
Good job by Thiago getting that knee in between the two of them. But he left his leg out there. Matt's got a hold of that. He's going to drag him down to the ground again. Thiago's back up to his feet.
30 seconds remains in round one. Remember, this is not a title fight, so it's scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
Nice.
Oh, spinning out nicely, Thiago Alves.
Nice, and now Thiago's on top. Matt Hughes trying a high guard. Oh,
1, 2, 3, 4. Good shots delivered. Now elbows from the bottom by the former champion. Round one comes to conclusion.
Hook's there, wing it. Get him some water.
Robbie Lawler says the hook's there, wing it.
Come on, Thiago. Work the jab with the distance. Yeah, when you work the jab, get your distance first, Thiago. You hear me?
Here's some action for the first round. This is Thiago with some ground and pound on the former champion.
Boom.
Some significant punches landed by Thiago, the only really significant blows in the fight.
Good work out there, Matt. Don't get lazy. Stay with that stiff jab and that hard hook. Keep him off balance with the movement. All right? Fake shots. Good hook, baby. Good hook. Matt.
Risk reward for Thiago Alves. He wants to punish the legs of Matt Hughes
Matt.
with those vicious kicks. If he does so, he'll slow the takedowns. But when he throws those kicks early, he puts himself in jeopardy of being taken down.
Yeah, he's got to get to a point where he's confident to let those fly.
Let's do it.
Second round.
Oh, big knee. Matt took a hard knee in that fight, and he's bleeding.
Matt's bloodied up. Matt has pulled guard a couple of times, Joe. Alves looking to overpower Matt Hughes. Matt said strength will come into play, but Thiago, as you mentioned, so huge, so strong.
He's brutally strong. You know, Matt has that incredible grappler strength. It's a different kind of strength, but you know what? I think Thiago's probably got that too. And, you know, the training that he's going through at American Top Team, he's training with some of the best grapplers in the world on a daily basis.
I mean, his mentor is Marcus Aurelio.
Yeah, and he's down there with Marcelo Garcia, Juan Carnero, Marcus Aurelio. I mean, he's there with some of the best grapplers in the world. Matt is battered. Oh, big knee. Matt is in deep trouble. That's
and it is all over.
Wow.
It is all over. Thiago Alves has defeated Matt Hughes.
Matt Hughes is still out. He's badly hurt. Wow. Huge victory for Thiago Alves. It appears that Matt Hughes might have hurt his knee.
Yep, he's pointing at his knee, Joe. Watch the left knee as we get a look at our Bud Light fight replay.
Bang! Giant.
Boom,
oh,
left knee.
Man!
Wow, left knee.
Oh, God! It fell completely sideways. Look at this knee. The knee catches him.
Boom.
And when he falls, he completely collapses sideways on his knee. Let's see that from the other angle. Watch as he falls. His knee is under him, and it falls backwards. Oh, man.
Our fight replay brought to you by Bud Light, ultimate refreshment, superior drinkability. Perhaps a glimpse of the future at 170 pounds. 174 tonight for Thiago Alves. They are definitely working on that left knee of Matt Hughes. He pointed at it immediately when the doctors came over to attempt to help him get up, attend to him. Matt obviously disappointed. Took a huge knee, and ironically, his knee buckles in the process. Bruce Buffer with the official decision.
Yeah, I want to apologize.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 2 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by TKO, Thiago Pitbull Alves.
Thiago Alves earns the biggest win of his mixed martial arts career, and he does it early in the second round. He is now with Joe.
All right, I'm here with a very happy Thiago Alves. Thiago, this is the biggest victory without a doubt of your career. You've got to be elated right now.
Oh man, I can't even describe my words right now. First of all, I want to apologize UFC management for yesterday. I couldn't make weight. I had a sprained ankle 10 days before the fight, so I couldn't run, I couldn't do much. I want to thank Matt Hughes too for the opportunity to fight against him. I'm a big fan, he's a legend, you know, and I'm really happy, man.
Now, this was a tremendous opportunity for you. You're fighting one of the most dominant fighters in the history of the sport. Where do you think this places you now in the welterweight division?
Mr. Dana White, where are you? I've been a good boy. I never choose my opponents, and I always give my best inside the octagon. Please, give me a title shot. I'm not gonna get on my knees because George St. Pierre did, you know, but give me a title shot, please.
Take a look at the replay, and there's Dana White smiling. Take a look at the replay and talk us through this flying knee that ended the fight.
Well, I was just timing the right time, you know. Actually, didn't hit it on his face. I hit kind of in the jaw and a little bit. But, you know, I'm really happy. Matt's a big fan. I'm a big fan of Matt Hughes. And, oh, Tayo, feliz aniversario. And that's it, man. Thanks. I love London, you know. Appreciate you for having me. Thanks for everything. You guys are awesome.
Huge victory. Congratulations. Thiago Alves, ladies and gentlemen.
Huge victory indeed. Joe now will visit with the legendary Matt Hughes.
Point at Matt Hughes, obviously. First of all, Matt, how is your left knee? It looked like when you fell back, you fell on your left knee. Do you think you blew it out?
I don't know what's wrong with it. I definitely at the very end there fell back on it, but man, he's a good fighter, and he got me. You know, I mean, there's no doubt about it. I tell you, I want to thank Jesus for giving me the power to come in here in the first place. I kind of fought this fight for my kids. I got 2 boys at home watching this, and 21-month-old girl that'll grow up and watch this, so I'm not disappointed for me, I'm disappointed for them.
What are your thoughts right now about the rest of your career? Are you going to continue? Are you going to go back home and think this through? What's going through your mind right now?
Well, Joe, I'll tell you this for sure, I've got one more fight left in me. And Matt Serra needs to come up with a game plan now, I'll tell you that.
So that's what you want to do before you retire. If you do anything, you want that Matt Serra fight.
Exactly. My wife wants it, I want it, and I know these fans want it too.
Well, as a fan, I want it too. And even if you never fight again, I want to thank you for all the incredible, entertaining fights you put on over the years. And thank you very much for taking this fight on short notice. And thank you for putting on a tremendous show for the fans here in London.
I want to thank all the fans here. This is a great place to be. When Dana called me and said, hey, come to England and fight, I said, sure, no problem there. I like these guys. I want to thank my family at home. This gives me tremendous support. My hometown, place I want to be right now, and I will be tomorrow. So, and thank, of course, the UFC, who's made me who I am.
Ladies and gentlemen, future Hall of Famer, Matt Hughes.
As classy a competitor as we've ever seen inside the octagon, walking out himself, his own power, limping a little bit on that left leg. Take a look at the edge move of the match, brought to you by Edge Shave Gel. Get your edge. It was the knee, the flying knee, that finished our main event of the evening. Thiago Alves defeats Matt Hughes here tonight in London. The move of the match brought to you by Edge Shave Gel. Get your edge. A happy crowd leaves with a victorious hometown boy in Michael Bisping tonight. But earlier tonight, they were entertained by 2 great lightweights, Brazilian Thiago Tavares and American handsome Matt Wiman. Tavares against Wiman. Dan Mergliotta, our referee.
You ready? You ready? Let's go fight.
Here we go.
Both these guys look fired up.
Tavares very explosive. White trunks for the Brazilian. Black
Wiman
trunks for the
stepping
American.
right to him.
Wyman working out at LA Boxing in the Dallas area, working with the Carlos Machado team. Tavares training when he's home in Florianopolis and also in Rio de Janeiro at the Minotauro
Wyman's got to be careful here.
Absolutely.
He's pulled him down, but he fell right into a guillotine.
Wyman going to try to push out.
If Tavares can, okay, he's free, but he's not.
He's free, but not out of trouble.
Yeah, he's still in trouble. He's got an omoplata here. If he can get his right leg over his left foot, he's got it. But they're standing, so Wyman's gonna get his arm out. There he goes. Up kick.
Kicks.
He got cracked by those up kicks. He's got that single. Tavares is a very good grappler. Look how quick he cooked the back there.
Grab the fence again, man.
Oh, nice roll.
Grabbing the fence was
Nice
Tavares.
roll to a leg lock.
Now let's see what Matt Wyman can do.
Matt Wyman going for a heel hook. Tavares got to be careful here.
Out of it, Joe.
But he's got hairy legs, which makes it even more difficult to get his legs out.
Elbows from the bottom by Matt Wyman. Good start for both men.
Good job by Wyman in getting back to guard. Look out, he's falling for a heel hook himself. Wyman's got to pull that leg out. He's cleared that.
Looking to pass.
This is a high-paced grappling exchange here, Mike.
Wyman, very smart with the elbows, making sure they hit the legal part of his opponent. Coming by the side.
Hammer fists and punches by Thiago.
Connecting a few times is Tavares. 3 5-minute rounds.
Matt Wyman is doing a real good job of avoiding too much damage and controlling the hips of Thiago Tavares with his guard. You see how he keeps his left foot, keeps pressing it down on Thiago's hip and pushing him away?
Tavares taking a wide base, trying to posture up.
Look how Matt keeps putting his foot on the hips.
Got to watch the up kick. He got caught earlier.
A nice job by Matt. Just tried for a submission here. Omoplata himself. Thiago pulls out, but at least Thiago knows he's got to be careful. Matt Wyman has been very dangerous off his back.
Wyman doing a good job of neutralizing Tavares' ability when he stands to throw down a big punch.
Wyman's jiu-jitsu has improved significantly since the first time we saw him in the UFC, Mike.
From the up kick to the submission defense and submission attempt.
And most of all, he's keeping Thiago thinking. He's keeping him on his toes.
From the bottom with a hammer fist. Joe, you made an interesting comment. He's keeping him thinking. He's keeping him on his toes. When you can get inside your opponent's head, how cautious can you make that opponent to go for things he might have gone for more freely in a different situation?
He's got to be careful because Matt Wyman is showing some submission attempts here, and he's showing real good control. I really like the way he's using his guard and keeping his foot on the hips. With the foot on the hip like that, you really can't generate any power. And he punches. Now he's in a place where he can get some pop. And as soon as he does that, see, Matt Wyman puts his foot right back on the hip. Wyman's doing a real good job. His guard has improved dramatically from the first time we've seen him.
Well, his entire game has improved dramatically since he came in on late notice at UFC 60 and then competed at the Ultimate Fighter. Tavares has a leg. Wyman keeping busy. About to get married, Matt Wyman. Very polite, young 24-year-old, born in Denver, Colorado.
Thiago holding onto that single, trying to turn the corner. He's got his back, but Wyman rolls again, and to guard.
Wyman doing a good job striking from the bottom.
He's doing a great job of getting the full guard. And avoiding damage, too. I mean, when Thiago winds up for punches, Wyman's got his guard up. He puts his feet on the hips and moves them away. And Thiago's very frustrated here. Hammer fist by Thiago.
15 seconds remains in round number 1. Wyman trying to work the elbow. Twice.
Guys.
Good elbows. Little bit of a chess match here in round number 1.
Yeah, real chess match on the ground, Mike. Real impressed with Matt Wyman's guard there. Real impressed.
Look at this. Matt, he's bringing it. Good. You're doing good, man.
Now, you can kick to the head, but if he's got anything under his feet on the ground, you can't kick to the head, okay?
Hey, you're doing good. Let's fight for that. We're just mouthpiece. Let's fight for those takedowns a little bit more, okay? Keep it on the feet, all right? Okay. He doesn't want to stand with you. Keep it on the feet. Let's fight for the takedowns a little bit more. Sprawl and stay away from the cage, okay? I want you to push his back against the cage, all right? Okay. You're doing good. You're doing good staying out of trouble there on the ground. Nice elbows. Okay.
See the placement of some of those elbows on the forehead of Tavares, a little bruised up. That would be those elbows.
Elbows from the bottom by Matt Wyman.
Yep.
Wyman looked very energetic and confident heading into the second round.
Absolutely.
You ready? Let's go. You ready? Fight.
Second round.
And just
quickly
comes out
Matt Wyman. Tavares swinging away now.
Oh, big right hand by
Tavares.
Tavares.
Right.
Wyman answers right back.
Overhand right again. That one did not connect.
But it shows the fortitude of Wyman. He just hung right in there and kept swinging. Again, Thiago connects. Good kick by Wyman.
That was a major connection.
Head kick by Wyman.
Tavares, and Wyman just shook it off, Joe.
Matt, circle away from the cage right now.
Circle away from the cage, and he does. Again, combination.
Oh, good right hand by Wyman.
Matt's got to be careful dropping that left hand.
Nice knee to the body by Thiago, and head kick.
Head kick over the
Thiago's
left hand.
Down. Thiago, he's got to be careful. Wyman's leg is trapped here.
So it was a chess match.
Look at that. Wyman's got his back here if he can get his leg free.
What was a chess match, Joe, in round one turns out to be a little bit of a brawl in the early part of round two.
Yeah, Thiago was forced to turn into him, but he might wind up getting mounted here. Wyman shouldn't fall back to his back here. Look at Wyman trying to secure a submission, but he falls into guard.
And again from the bottom with a hammer fist.
But the fact that he's willing to accept that position shows how confident he is off his back. A guy who was worried about being off his back wouldn't have tried to hold on to that spot.
Well, the fact that he took that punch and is still competing shows his conditioning and his heart.
Oh, he's got mad heart. You can't question Matt Wyman's heart. Oh, big right hand by Matt Wyman.
And the knees, uppercut.
Good
Tavares is in trouble. Oh, there's Tavares. It's over.
Victory from Matt Wyman.
Matt Wyman wins the fight.
Wow. Huge, huge victory from Matt Wyman. Man,
what a win.
Wow.
Our Bud Light fight replay.
Matt Wyman. Now here's Matt Wyman early in the fight getting rocked himself. But you know what, Mike? If you look at that punch, if you look at the way the punch landed, he didn't really wobble. He got knocked back, but he didn't really wobble from it. Now here's the end of the fight. Matt Wyman swarming all over Thiago, and there's the right hand that put him away. Let's look at that right hand again. Bang! Drops him, then puts him away.
Well, to
Hands
say
of
he
Matt
is ever
Wyman.
improving.
That dude is a wild man.
Yes, indeed. Fight replay brought to you by Bud Light. Ultimate refreshment, superior drinkability.
You want a shirt? No shirt for sponsor?
I do not know if there's a win more superior than that one in Matt Wyman's career. Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Dan Mergliata has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 57 seconds of round number 2, declaring the winner by knockout, handsome Matt Wyman.
Tavares is defeated by Wyman. He's with Joe.
All right, I'm here with Matt Wyman. Wow, Matt Wyman, the biggest test of your career so far. You came through with flying colors. Phenomenal performance, man. You've got to be happy right now.
I've never been more excited. I just felt like I had a plateau that I couldn't get over, you know, in my life, and it was a hard mental thing to get through this, and I just want to thank God and give him all the glory. And in 1 Corinthians it says, "Let he who boasts, boast in the Lord."
Well, you know, if you're talking about plateaus, you certainly got over that plateau tonight. It was far better than we've ever seen you before. You look phenomenal. Take a look at the big screen and talk us through the finish of this fight, Matt. I mean, you just swarmed on him here.
Man, I saw I could kind of rock him a little bit with those punches. When I saw him start to go back, I went as hard as I can, you know?
Well, incredible performance. You got some people you want to thank here?
I just want to thank, I want to dedicate this victory to my better half. I'm getting married next week. I love you, Court. Can't wait to come home and marry you.
Here's what's coming up inside the Octagon. The Ultimate Fighter, Team Rampage versus Team Forrest. After starting out with 32 middleweights, we're down to the final 4. With only 2 episodes left before the live finale, viewers are in store for the biggest shock in Ultimate Fighter history. It's The Ultimate Fighter, Saturdays at 11 p.m. on Bravo here in the UK, and Wednesdays at 10 p.m. on Spike TV in the US. Then on Saturday, June 21st, it's the Ultimate Finale with the biggest card in finale history, featuring UFC superstars Diego Sanchez, Spencer Fisher, Josh Berkman, and Drew McFedry. Then the 2 middleweight finalists will square off in the biggest fight of their lives. And in the main event, Evan Tanner takes on Kendall Grove. That's the Ultimate Finale, live Saturday, June 21st at 9 p.m. on Spike TV, and Sunday, June 22nd at 9 p.m. on Bravo. And just 2 weeks later, Saturday, July 5th, it's UFC 86 as Quentin Rampage Jackson defends his light heavyweight championship against Forrest Griffin. Jackson versus Griffin, only on pay-per-view. Or check your local listings internationally. Tickets are still available. Then on Saturday, August 9th, the UFC heads to Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota for UFC 87 Seek and Destroy. George Rush St. Pierre faces John Fitch for the welterweight title. And UFC sensation Brock Lesnar returns home to Minneapolis to take on the Texas Crazy Horse, Heath Herring. Plus, Kenny Ken Flo Florian squares off against Roger El Matador Huerta. Tickets are still available at the Target Center box office. That's UFC 87, Saturday, August 9th in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Tickets for all UFC events can be found at Ticketmaster.com and StubHub.com. That's what's coming up inside the Octagon. A lot to look forward to inside the Octagon indeed. And tonight, a night to remember from the O2. Also earlier tonight, middleweights collided as Jorge Rivera tried to hand Martin, the Hitman Kampmann, his first loss in the UFC.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu fighter holding a professional record of 12 wins with 1 loss. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 186 pounds, 13.3 stone. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, Martin the Hitman Kampmann! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter holding a professional record of 15 wins with 6 losses. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 185 pounds, 13.2 stone. Fighting out of Milford, Massachusetts, USA, Jorge El Conquistador Rivera! And when the action begins in the Octagon, our referee in charge is Herb Dean.
The beautiful Edith Ariani here tonight, O2 Arena. Great to be back in beautiful London, England. This one could be spectacular. Herb Dean, our ref.
Ready. Let's do it.
And we are underway. Red trunks for Rivera. Blue and black trunks for Martin the Hitman Kampmann, the Dane.
Rivera immediately landing a kick to that wounded leg.
Rivera extending that right hand. His confidence level has never been this high.
Again, he attacks that leg.
Rivera had a great fight years ago when he took on Rich Franklin. Lost to Rich back at UFC 50. Submitted late in the 3rd round. So we always knew he had the ability as he's taken down here, though.
Kampmann took Rivera down there.
Rivera went through one of those periods, Joe, when he was spectacular and then he'd lose, spectacular and then he'd lose. Now he wants to put a couple together. Campman wants to overcome maybe some doubts from that knee injury that you spoke of to his left knee.
Rivera's a very talented fighter, but he's had some tough fights.
Yeah.
Lost to Rich Franklin, lost to Terry Martin. But the Kendall Grove fight has given him new momentum.
He was out nearly a year himself after suffering a broken jaw in that fight against Terry Martin.
Yeah, he has a plate in his jaw where his jaw is screwed together. Terry Martin hit him with a huge punch.
Second time in England for a UFC event for Rivera. But he's fought over here many times in other organizations as he pulls down the back of the head of Martin Campman.
He's got to be careful here.
Campman, can he get his back and keep it?
He's got no hooks right now, but he does have the left knee in place. He's got, okay, his left hook is in.
Rivera has been working very diligently on his jiu-jitsu skills.
I can't tell if he has an underhook on the right side. If he does, Rivera's in trouble. He does. Now he's got both hooks. This is a bad spot for Jorge Rivera.
And plenty of time for Campman to work.
Campman moves to mount. Arm triangle, and this is what he submitted Drew McFetridge with. This is his specialty. If he can pop his leg out, Mike, he is stuck in half guard right here, but if he can pop his leg out and spin around towards Mark, oh, Jorge Rivera do a good job there.
He survives for now.
He's got to be careful, guillotine. He's got a chin under. That's it, guillotine.
Trying to finish with
guillotine. Big trouble, he's tapping.
All over. Martin Campman submits Jorge Rivera.
Martin Campman. Smooth transition from the back to the arm triangle to the guillotine. Beautiful jiu-jitsu by Martin Campman.
Our Bud Light fight replay.
Here's the submission. Here's the transition, Mike. Now he's got the guillotine here in this position. Drops down to full guard. Arm in, guillotine. Rolls him over to the mount. Jorge's in deep trouble here. Forced to tap. And it was a beautiful transition because he took it from the back, went to the arm triangle. Jorge got out of that, rolled into the guillotine. It was over. He chained those submissions together. Very impressive.
You think about the great history, the subculture of kickboxing for the Dutch and the Danes, but this young man from Denmark has great jiu-jitsu and submission skills as well. He defeats Jorge Rivera. Bruce Buffer with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 44 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by tap out due to a guillotine choke, Martin the Hitman Campman.
So Campman remains unbeaten inside the octagon, and here's Joe Rogan.
All right, I'm here with Martin Campman. Martin, it's been a long time for you. You had a serious knee injury, 2 knee surgeries. You've got to be happy with this comeback fight.
Fuck yeah, very happy, man. Very happy. Sucks being out, sucks not being able to train, sucks looking all your best friends train and going and fight, and you just have to sit on the couch and not do anything. And it's been horrible, but it's great to be back, man. I love it.
I'll tell you what doesn't suck, this finish. Talk us through this. Beautiful transition from the back. You went from the back to an arm triangle, and this is the guillotine.
Yeah, well, he was defending I was trying to get that rear naked choke in when I had the back, but I tried to get that side choke on him too from half guard, but when he turtled up, I got his neck, and it's one for the guillotine. I like that too.
Well, congratulations. It's great to see you back, and it's great to see you victorious. Martin Campman, ladies and gentlemen.
Big win for Martin Campman, who is back, and back with a vengeance.
Y'all know why. I love y'all. Thank you.
UFC 85 Bedlam has been brought to you by Bud Light, Ultimate Refreshment, Superior Drinkability. By Edge Shape Gel, get your edge. And by BSN, the world leader in physique, performance, and energy supplements. Joe, take a look at our submission of the night, brought to you by Tap Out, Tap Out, American, arrogant, and in your face. Watch Tap Out on their crazy second season starting July. This came from one of the unaired preliminary matchups.
Unbelievable submission by Kevin Burns, who is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu blue belt, submits Juan Carneiro, who is a world champion black belt. It was an amazing performance by Kevin Burns. He took this fight on short notice, showed incredible determination and calm under pressure, and he gets the tap out submission tonight. You can watch that fight by going to UFC.com, and it is one of the unaired prelims.
All of them available at UFC.com, uk.ufc.com. Mike Goldberg, Joe Rogan. Mike Swick was back, and he looked a lot like he did when he was a dominant fighter at 185. He breaks a long winning streak held by Marcus Davis.
Yeah, Mike Swick looked fantastic tonight, and he really got comfortable with that cut, and much more comfortable getting down to 170 than he did against Josh Berkman. He had much more energy, looked great going into the third round, and he took on a very dangerous challenger. Marcus Davis has brutal power in his hands, very comfortable fighting in the UK, and Mike Swick did a fantastic job, and congratulations to him.
You and I have talked about it a lot. In this day and age, everything is so close that every fighter looks for every advantage. So we've seen fighters drop down. Mike Swick to 170, Michael Bisping to 185.
Michael Bisping was on fire tonight.
Yeah.
Michael Bisping has said before that we've never seen him fight up to his full potential, and I think we have tonight. I mean, if we haven't, then it's even crazier because he looked fantastic, just completely overwhelmed Jason Day in every aspect of the fight. The grappling, his striking, just stormed the gates, took him apart, and looked fantastic at 185. He is shredded at this weight. He's fast at this weight. He's got tremendous endurance. It's really the perfect weight class for him, and I think he left a big mark and made a big impression on the middleweight division this evening.
The first Brit ever to headline a UFC event when he was in the main event against Rashad Evans, and he is truly this nation's mixed martial arts hero. A hero in his own right is Matt Hughes. He takes the fight against Thiago Alves, even though he doesn't make weight. Thiago Alves wins, and Matt Hughes gives us good news in the post-fight interview. He said, "I'll still fight Matt Serra."
Really unfortunate about the weight because Thiago Alves looked quite a bit bigger than Matt Hughes in the fight. And like I said before, Matt Hughes has fought at 175 before at a catchweight when he fought Royce Gracie, and he looks significantly larger. Whether or not that has any bearing or would have had any bearing on the fight, you see Matt Hughes getting stitched up tonight. He took a couple of big shots tonight, a big knee at the end, some big punches from the guard, and we don't know what kind of damage he got on his knee when he fell down. He's a great champion. He's fought so many times before. I mean, kudos to him for stepping up and taking this fight on short notice, taking this fight against one of the top young contenders in this game, which I'm sure he would have loved to have a nice long camp, and I'm sure he would have liked to known that this is going to be at a catch weight. He made the 170-pound weight class.
Absolutely.
It would be nice to see him fight Matt Serra one more time. It would be nice to see him compete as long as he wants to.
I'm sure Chuck Liddell wishes he didn't tear his hamstring either, which is why these guys stepped up. Speaking of stepping up, though, still, Thiago Alves said in the post-fight interview he had rolled his ankle. That's why he couldn't run and get down to weight. Leave all of that away and look at it from what it is right now. A dominant victory over a future Hall of Famer. What does that say for Thiago Alves?
Thiago Alves is a destroyer. Everyone in the 170-pound division, if he can make weight, they have to worry about Thiago Alves. He's a beast, man. He's very dangerous. He showed that he has excellent takedown defense tonight despite his wounded ankle, and he has great defense on the ground, and his stand-up is outstanding. He has some of the best leg kicks in the game. He's got great punches, great drive, the best team in the world. I mean, the sky is the limit as far as this guy's potential.
A great performance tonight by an Ultimate Fighter winner, Michael Bisping. I'll see you 2 weeks from tonight for the Ultimate Fighter finale.
Okay.
Always a pleasure. Headed home tomorrow, but before we do, we'd like to remind all of you that you can see the unseen preliminary matchups, as Joe mentioned, at UFC.com and UK.UFC.com. All the post-fight interviews, analysis. It is your place to stop right here, right now, for UFC 85 Bedlam material and so much more. The executive producers of the Ultimate Fighting Championship: Frank Fertitta III, Lorenzo Fertitta, and UFC President Dana White. Our supervising producer is Craig Borsari. Tonight's show produced by Bruce Connell and directed by Anthony Pasquale Giordano. Tim O'Toole is our director of production. Our whole crew did a great job getting things ready here in the UK with the help of Alec Connell and, of course, our great matchmaker, Joe Silva. Marcus Davis, 11 straight wins he had. Mike Swick disappointed even in victory against Josh Berkman. Tonight, we saw the real Quick Swick. Even though it went to decision, he was dominant. Jason Day, just his second fight in the octagon. His first time fighting in the UK. Bad night to fight Michael Bisping. Bisping was outstanding, and as Joe said, perhaps turning in the greatest performance of his mixed martial arts career. Watch out, 185. The count is starting to count his victories, and they're starting to add up. And then in our main event of the evening, Thiago Alves took on the longtime welterweight champion Matt Hughes. And it was Matt Hughes falling to Alves as Alves makes a statement that he perhaps could be a future champion. For Joe Rogan, Mike Goldberg, for all of us, so long from London, and we'll see you next time, right back here inside the Octagon.